everybody, and welcome to another episode of HP Critical, podcast where my friends and I talk all things gaming. I'm your host, Jerel, and I have a very special guest today, but I'm gonna leave his introduction for last. Not because I'm saving the best for last, not because he's my favorite person. Alright, so, Brandon, hey.
Hey guys, what's up?
Kellie's here.
Hi everybody, I guess I'm not the favorite, but okay.
Gabe's here, but he just totally walked away and he's doing some weird stuff in the background. And we have my wonderful friend Greysun, who is recently the lead guides editor at Gamerant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
See,
exactly.
I got it right.
Hi.
Thank you so much.
Shit. Here's my table. Sorry. Thanks for having me. I'm excited. I'm so excited to be on here. Like I've been watching you guys every week, so it's gonna be fun to actually like be part of the conversations and whatnot.
I am so excited to have you, and I hope that you're ready for our crazy nonsense. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully, it's gonna be fun. So the biggest thing for me that I wanted to talk about is, for anyone who's watching, you might notice that all of us are wearing very special clothing today. Because by the time you hear this podcast, yes, Superman it up! By the time you hear this podcast, we will have our Teespring shop completely available, and we're all wearing our HP Critical logo shirts, which, thank you guys for wearing them today. You all look fucking great. Everybody's beautiful.
So I was showing it off, and I was doing that crab walk.
That's what that was. Okay, yeah. I wasn't sure. I thought you were trying to show off all your cool tattoos. Speaking of...
these two, you see them? Yeah. And one more. Yeah.
I understood all
those. Sorry, I worked today. I feel good today.
I'm happy. No, I'm happy for you. Honestly, I still think that Greysun has the best tattoos ever. They're very hipster, but they look so cool. I'm sorry. But yours are definitely second place, Gabe. For sure.
No, it's okay.
I like something. That was Ultimate.
Oh, nice. I like that one. That's cool. But it's okay. I'm going to get my next 3 tattoos, and I'll come back a little.
And then I'll say that you're my favorite. You have my favorite tattoos. So yeah, the first thing I want to do, though, is explain exactly what the logo means to anyone who's watching and doesn't know. So, I am a really huge fan of 2 of the 3 of these swords on here. I'm not a great fan of the 3rd one, but when I was in the process of working with the artist who created this, Fabian, who's really awesome, we were talking about representations of some of like the really prolific video game things that I love, and I know that a lot of my friends love, which includes Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and the Master Sword from The Legend of Zelda, and this lovely little HP bar here, stolen completely from Kingdom Hearts, because it's another great series, and obviously the Pokeball, because I'm a huge Pokemon fan. The logo goes with the name HP Critical, because if you are actually looking at it, your HP's pretty fucking critical by the time that you are looking at the logo, and so that's where our slogan comes in, which is Daily Potions for Life's Critical Moments, which are on the back of all your shirts. So that's the logo, that's the slogan, and the colors are representative of the 3 big companies. So you got the blue for PlayStation, the green for Xbox, and the red for Nintendo. And I did want to do that because I know that some people might not understand exactly what the logo means, but that's what it is, and it goes with our slogan, and it goes with our website, and I'm very proud of it, and it looks really awesome. I have actually the rose tattooed from the logo here. I just don't have all the stuff around it. Maybe eventually one day I'll go back to it. And you will be able to purchase not only these shirts and this lovely sweater that I'm wearing, but... And for everyone listening, I'm showing off this awesome HP Critical logo. So, one side has the HP Critical Podcast Crew logo, and the other side has the HP Critical logo on it, and they come in a bunch of different colors. I bought one in purple, because, honestly, purple is our unofficial, HP Critical color. And mint green, which you can't really tell. We also have this really awesome, which I'm showing off now for everyone listening, this really awesome blanket, which feels really great, so and it looks so good in person. The printing is really awesome. And if you buy the blanket, it's another one of our products that also has the HP Critical Podcast Crew on it. So it comes with the logo, and it comes with the Podcast Crew on there. And we also have a bunch of other stuff. We've got leggings that I'm going to eventually buy. We have these awesome mugs as well, which have on the front the HP Critical Podcast Crew, and on the back they also have the logo. We got a bunch of shit. And if you're listening to this, you're going to get a percentage off of the store when find out how it works. So you got to listen next week to get the code for the percentage off. How's that? But yeah, thank you guys for being here and for another week. Thank you all for repping HP Critical. You all look fucking beautiful, and I think we should get started because I talk too much. So,
you.
Huh? Did you say no you? Thank you. I really tried today. I put on a little bit of makeup.
And that's my one nice thing for Jerel for the week.
Wow. I put on a little bit of makeup. I don't know if you can tell. And that's all I get.
I also just wanted to say, if anybody gets the PCP, the Podcast Crew pillow, if you want to draw a little heart on my cheek and sleep with it face up, I'm okay with that. Just throwing that out there.
Alright, so some of the biggest things that happened this week in gaming, because you can do whatever you'd like to Gabe's face if you buy the pillow. Some of the biggest things that happened this week in gaming include the fact that we got a ton of analytics from Nintendo for their annual review of the amount of fucking shit that they sold, because Nintendo's just rich as fuck. We saw a little bit from Sony as well, so I think I want to start by not talking about that, because I completely forgot that the first thing I want to say is it's Black History Month, so happy Black History Month to everybody who's listening. And I do want to start by talking about some of the stuff that I've seen happening for Black History Month, and just ask you guys, like, how you feel about how some of these companies are handling it. I know I'm the only black person here. I get it. But I still want to talk to you guys about, how you feel about some of this stuff, whether you feel like it's performative action, whether you think they could be doing more, whether you think it's a good idea, do you see, people having issues with it, and then I want to talk about a little bit more controversial stuff, and then we're going to get into the fun stuff, which is talking all about the analytics for Nintendo and PlayStation and how everyone and their mom has Animal Crossing right now. And then, there's also, except for Kellie, we gotta get you Animal Crossing. And, there's also Google Stadia, that whole issue.
Sorry.
First things first, so Xbox has, in February, they have a tweet put out that says, this February, and beyond, we're celebrating Black voices and shining a light on the contributions of both creators and players. So they have their Black History Month initiatives, and I did want to give them a shout out because I thought it was really cool that they would do something like that. So this February and beyond, this is from the Xbox News website. It says, this February and beyond, we're highlighting collections of games, movies, and TV shows selected by Black communities at Microsoft that bring focus to Black creators, experiences, protagonists, and more. Oh my god, excuse me. And those games include After Party, Watch Dogs 2, Apex Legends, and The Sims 4. As far as movies go, they've included Black Panther, Insecure, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and Hidden Figures. So, first, have you guys played any of those games? After Party, Watch Dogs 2, Apex Legends, or The Sims 4?
I played a good bit of Apex when that first came out.
Yeah, I played Apex.
No, I haven't played any of these really. Well, After Party is probably the only one I was interested into playing, because that's the people who made what's that game called? With the kids and the island and the supernatural stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes, with the two kids, right?
Yeah.
I literally don't know.
Anyways, yeah, that game was really good. I wanted to play After Party and never played it. But no, I'm not a Watch Dogs fan. I'm not an Apex fan or Sims fan. So.
Damn, Greysun, what do you play?
So are they saying that these games are like games that people can play to like have play as a black character or like see a black character?
I believe so. Yeah, I think they're just kind of doing this because they're highlighting that there are black characters in these games. Like Apex Legends, for example, it does say that Bangalore and Lifeline have excited players as two playable black women with unique and differentiated backgrounds in a major title. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, they're probably the only game that has like two major black female characters in an FPS, because Overwatch, we're still waiting for the one black lady who still hasn't come yet because she's coming to Overwatch 2. And, I mean, can you guys think of any other ones? And the silence.
No, like, this is a short list.
Well, first of all, yeah,
which is bad.
This list
this is not good.
And yeah, they're not even, like, well-known titles. I mean, Apex Legends, but it's been out for a while. Like, is there, like, any new games that they can add to this list?
Yeah.
The Sims 4 has been out for, like, 10 years, I feel like. After Party's an indie game. Watch Dogs 2 came out, like, 5 years ago.
And the other thing,
the most recent Watch Dogs game.
I'm sorry, say that again, Brandon?
Oh, I was saying that Watch Dogs 2 is not even the most recent game, because Legion came out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Legion's been out for over a month now. So, it's really sad.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's really sad that this is actually...
And then there's 4 movies.
4 movies.
Or TV shows / movies, which is...
to me, it's really hard to include The Sims 4 just because, like,
you pick your own character?
Yeah, like you make yourself. So
okay, yeah,
it's like
that doesn't really count.
But I do know that the reason that they put The Sims 4 here is because they do have a new update that has over 100 plus skin tones, and that was only done because of a Black creator in the community who came together with them to work on that. Because otherwise, it wouldn't have even been there. So bless the fact that that happened. But you know. Even though that's what they have here, I do have to give them a shout out, and I'm appreciative of the fact that they have, done that. They also have Xbox programming to celebrate Black History Month, which is the first week of February. They have Black Heroes Week, where it quote says, "Let's play and watch Black heroes be the star of their own games." And then the week of February 8th, it's going to be Black creators and developers in their games week. The week of February 15th is Black Streamers Takeover Week, and the week of February 22nd is Black Streamers Takeover Week again. So definitely, guys, keep an eye out for Microsoft to see what they're doing over at Xbox for Black History Month. I just definitely wanted to shout that out because I thought that was really cool. As in opposition to Bethesda, who put out a tweet that said, "Black people make history every day. We're proud to celebrate Black History Month with our employees and communities from around the world." And that's it. So, I mean, I haven't personally seen if they've done anything to go along with that, but I'm pretty sure that's all they've talked about. So, in you guys' opinion, two questions. The first one is, what do you think these companies can do to actually show their support for Black History Month? One. Two, do you think it's enough to just put out a tweet and be done with it?
Well, I'll answer the second question first and say a tweet alone, I definitely don't think is enough. Like, it's a month. Like, if you just put a tweet like, "Hey, happy Black History Month, we're just gonna do whatever now," I feel like it's like you were describing, Jerel, performative. It's like you're doing it just so you can say that you did, and that's literally like the bare minimum in my opinion. Like, I don't think, like, what we're doing on HPCritical, we're doing, like, a tweet a day for the entirety of February, which I think is great. I don't necessarily think everybody needs to do that exact same thing, but a single tweet to represent the whole month, nah, that ain't enough. That ain't enough.
Bethesda might have more coming, but as of right now, that's what they have. And just so you guys are aware, underneath that tweet, are comments like, "All people make history every day. Where is White History Month or Asian History Month?" And the list just continues.
Isn't there an Asian Heritage Month?
Yes, there is.
Yes!
They're
like,
yeah, it's like, don't put out a tweet. Like, I don't think they should be putting out tweets unless they're going to do what Microsoft is doing, right? Like, they're uplifting the Black creators and doing all that stuff. And it's like, if you're just going to tweet something, you might as well not tweet anything at all.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be not doing anything more than that. But who knows? I don't know if Bethesda actually, like you said, maybe they are doing something. There's something in the works, but the month has already started. So, like, they should have, if they are going to do something, they would have already said it, I'm sure,
Sure.
So
I feel like Microsoft recently acquired them, so maybe Microsoft thinks that their stuff that they're doing is like an umbrella over them or something, because they did just acquire them as a company. So, and their CEO died. The Bethesda founder actually died
today, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, I would say they might be a little bit distracted, but I don't know how it is with like them getting acquired. I mean, I guess the social media manager is still working there, so I don't know. I mean, but I think that Microsoft kind of thinks that they're like in the umbrella now of them, but if Microsoft is doing so much and they just acquired this company, you'd think that they would be like able to do so much more with it. Obviously, with all of their resources that they have, I think they should do obviously more than a tweet, but
so you think
there are some things on the horizon.
You think it would have been better if they would be like, the same tweet and then at the bottom just like forward it to the Microsoft community and be like, "We're also a part of this."
Well, I think that no, but they have like all the resources that Xbox has. So I'm saying like anything that they're doing, like anything that Xbox is doing, they could have just also did at Bethesda. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't.
Facts. Okay, did you want to jump in on that before I move on?
I was actually just looking to see if maybe Bethesda themselves, the game studio, is like, "Oh, here's our tweet, but we're going to let our game, our individual games do what they want to do." I looked and there's nothing from either of them. So I'm not either of them. There's nothing from many of the games I searched up. So, I don't know. A tweet seems kind of empty. It's like, yeah, like, woo, here's a tweet. Woo. Like, I mean, kind of, there just gets to a point where sometimes you kind of like give up on certain companies to
but
be
I
better.
don't think anyone's gonna give up on Bethesda.
And,
Come on, we always hold out for
well,
them to put
I
out
mean,
trash
yeah,
games.
Right. Lord knows people are trying to give up on Bethesda.
I just don't know
can't-
what
I'm sorry.
channels.
I'm sorry. Trash games?
I'm sorry, I meant trash graphics for good games. That's what I actually meant.
There we go. Thank you. Okay.
There you go.
Well, and what was the first question? Because I knew I was going to answer the first question.
I don't even remember.
You don't remember? All right. I feel like it's coming to mind. Nope, it's gone. But I don't know, man. Like there's other gaming related, Twitter accounts that I see are, they're doing their Black History Month stuff. Elgato is focusing on one content creator a day. It's not like here's a content creator, here's some of their numbers, and that's it. Like I saw them, it's like they'll put up clips in one thing, then they'll start a whole thread on that person, and then they'll start another thread on that same person. So it's like, it's not that you can't figure out what to do. I mean, you're Bethesda, man. You have so many people playing Elder Scrolls Online, the old Elder Scrolls, Fallout 76. Yeah, you have all these chances to do more than just a simple Happy Black History Month. We're going to be celebrating Black people.
I saw somebody
quietly by ourselves in the corner, not telling any of you guys about it.
Apparently so.
What were you saying, Greysun?
The reason I saw that Bethesda tweet in the first place was someone quote tweeted it, and all they wrote was "how," and then I read the
Right? Like
Bethesda
how,
tweet, and
is that it? Like,
I was
what,
like, so
how are you doing this?
So
like,
what are you doing? It's
Yeah.
like, how are you celebrating?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like what?
What's going on?
Because I followed Bethesda, and I missed the tweet.
And
I didn't
Bethesda's
see it
not
until later.
and they're not a small studio by any means. I'm sure they have a large
No,
amount of staff.
they have their own
So,
E3 conference for years.
it's not like an indie developer. And I'm sure an indie developer would do something for Black History Month, but for some reason these bigger companies can't do anything. Like Elgato is way smaller than Bethesda, I'm sure,
yeah.
and they're able to do all that.
Mhm.
One streamer a day. That's incredible, and it's like
So why
not even
do you think
Microsoft
that
is doing that.
If you had to guess, why
I
would
don't
you think that is?
Because it's just not an interest of money. They don't see any financial gain from it.
It reminds me,
Which I think is also bullshit, because if you dedicate yourself, and then it's not just dedicating yourself for the month, but if you actually go out and decide to rebrand, well, I'm going to use the word rebrand very loosely. If you, rebrand yourself and not just focus on Black content creators and people who play your games for 28 days out of the month, 28 days out of the year, if you go out and you tell people like, hey, we include everybody, there's your money right there, man. If you're so worried about money, be smart about it. This is what you want more players, right?
Are you saying?
I'm looking at this from a business way. I don't like the way, but it's like if you come up, because I've seen it not so many times, but I've seen it where companies are like, yeah, we don't really focus on this because it doesn't financially help us. Like, bro, more people, more money. That's literally the easiest thing to get around your head.
So moving on a little bit, but keeping on the same topic, and this will be the last part of this topic. Chibi Goddess 7, that's her Twitter. She is a tournament organizer. She is she was the tournament organizer who was in charge of Queens of Quarantine. It was a Street Fighter V tournament. The prize was a $700 prize pool that was held online for PS4 and PC. On August 1st back then, and it did really, really well. I thought it was a really awesome thing to highlight, women and female gamers. Recently, the tweet has since been deleted, but recently she had this wonderful tweet that said, and I'm a quote it because I don't want to, accidentally say what she said incorrectly. I've had enough Black people for today. That was full quote, period, end. And then she went on to say that Black people are out of control sometimes. White people can't call them out, so I guess I can try and start this conversation. These are actual quotes from her Twitter. And she did all of this because apparently a black person was really mean to her and apparently racist to her in some form or fashion. And she decided to vent and take it out. And one of her tweets, she also did mention that she used to be racist against black people and Japanese people, but she's not anymore. And the reason I bring this up is because
Okay.
she used to be, guys. She's not anymore.
My bad.
Until
why are you talking about this then?
Because she had enough black people for the day, bro. Like, she's done with them.
No, she got her one-day racist card. That's
She's
it.
like,
She's not racist anymore, guys.
and this was literally at the beginning
Just
of
one
Black History
day.
Month. Yeah. So, and I was really shocked because I was like, damn, it literally is like February 1st. Like, calm down, girl. But the reason I brought this up,
I know she's still
I got some news for you about the rest of this month, girl. Like,
Oh my god. You're in for a treat.
right? The reason I brought this up and I wanted to talk about this is because she's a tournament organizer who's done some really great things. Like, I thought Queens of Quarantine was a great idea. Like, it's a great way to highlight female gamers in the FGC who are doing these fighting games, who are going out there beating these dudes. Like, it's a really awesome opportunity. But at the end of the day, it's being organized by a racist person. So,
Can I add something really quick?
yeah.
She tweeted that, but the header on her, Twitter page
Yes.
says Black Children Matter, Black Lives Matter, and Black Futures Matter.
Yeah, her header was a Black Lives Matter type header, as she said she's done with black people for the day. Also, Queens of Quarantine had, I believe, disbanded at the time, and they're now looking at rebranding and bringing on new people, which I think is a great thing because it would suck to, lose that entire competition, like that entire idea behind one racist person. It reminds me of, have any of you guys played, oh my god, what's that game? With the girl and the thing on her head and the people, that she sucks up the people, and it was by that guy who was racist, so now we're not getting all the cool DLC from it. You guys have no idea what I'm talking about.
No,
it's on
we
Game
don't.
Pass. Oh my god, hold
Sounds
on.
familiar with it.
What's up? But the guy was racist, so no DLC. Yeah, I got nothing.
well, I don't
Indivisible.
know about that.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
South Asian-
Indivisible.
Yeah, so Indivisible
Inspired.
had some really cool DLC planned for it. But the character, I think he was the character designer and creator behind it, was super racist, and so now, like, they parted ways, and now we're not getting any DLC for it. The last update came out, and it's done, and it sucks because I really enjoyed that game. And they had some really cool, like, they had Shovel Knight, and I think Shantae, and some other, like, DLC characters that were supposed to be coming over to that game. And it was just really, like, ruined behind one person, so I think it's really cool that the Queens of Quarantine are going to rebrand and they'll be able to come out and, be stronger for it. But the reason I wanted to bring this up is because as a tournament organizer, if any of us are about to, play in some tournament and you find out that the tournament organizer happens to be racist, like, what do you do in that situation? Like, is there any way that she can come back from what she said, do you think? And, like, also, if you were in a tournament and you found out that that person was racist, like, how would you feel about that? Like, what happens next? Like, what do you guys think happens next?
I'm gonna answer the first question. Does she come back from it?
It's basically a question of cancel culture.
This is okay.
You're right.
The thing, no, because this is cancel culture is such a fun topic to talk about.
Well, we won't talk about it for too long. So
No, we won't. But I would say there was a chance for her to at least apologize correctly if it hadn't been for the fact that even though the tweet is now deleted, she still spent several minutes or hours defending what she said on her Twitter. If you go back, you won't find the tweet, but you'll find the tweets that come after.
Can I interrupt you really quick?
Yeah, you can.
I'm sorry. Yes, thank you for bringing it up. So she did delete that tweet, but her reasoning was, I'm deleting my tweet because I just picked up my phone and my online parents told me to. I made a mistake in what I said, and I don't know how to express that. I don't want to hear racism from white people or black people. I'm sorry. She never actually apologized for what she said. She literally said, I'm deleting it because my online parents told me to delete it. Continue.
What does that term mean? Online parents?
I don't know. I'm
I don't know what
I'm
that means either.
assuming that she means like she got messages from people online, because she did get a ton of messages from people online telling her to delete it, because she is a pretty she was a pretty prominent tournament organizer. Like, people knew who she was, so a lot of people were like, "We can't believe that you said this. You need to delete this immediately." I'm assuming that's what she meant. She was like, "Well, everybody's telling me to delete this, so I guess I'll do it." But I think the problem's still there, and like, I still don't like black people. Like, essentially. But yeah, she did go on to, like, she has multiple tweets where she just defends herself, and she's like, "Call me a racist, I don't care. Like, this is what happened to me. This is not fair." Continue, Gabe, sorry.
Nah, that's pretty much it. She she doesn't apologize at any point. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm deleting my tweet. Yeah, I picked up Online Parents Told Me to. I made a mistake in what I said, and I don't know how to express that I don't want to hear racism from white people or black people. I'm sorry.
That was her.
So I guess she's apologizing for not knowing how to say I'm racist properly. Yeah, there's nothing at this point. It's the fact that you continue to try to defend yourself. One, why would you even try and say you're a racist before? That never ends well. Like, there's some things, I understand wanting to be honest and whatever, but there's just some things you gotta keep to yourself. Especially if you're not showing that you were racist before, but that you currently still are racist. Black History Month is a month to celebrate black people. I'm actually gonna go back into her tweets and see if she said the same thing on Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm gonna go back and see if she said the same thing on Asian Heritage Month, because that's what those months are. It's celebrating those cultures and stuff, and that's what Black History Month is.
And it's already so
and
hard.
It really is. Yeah, it is, because as soon as you say, "Why isn't there a black person in this game?" you have the people that, like we talked about earlier. Why don't we have White History Month? Why don't we have Asian History Month? So it's already hard enough. So, shut up. And if I was participating in a tournament like that, and I found something out like that, I'm gonna be a little conflicted, because I'm gonna want to take your money. I'm gonna want to win the tournament to take that money, because technically it is your money. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to participate anymore, because I don't. It's just the vibe. The vibes are just gonna all over the place. I'm not.
That is
for anyone who's whoever's not watching, I just did some weird twitching motion. For whoever's watching, I'm sorry. But yeah, like, I don't. Yeah, I think I would leave.
Kellie,
Hard to say, right? It's a hard choice to make.
It
I
really
want
is,
to take
right?
your money.
I'm gonna ask you, because obviously you're a girl. If you were, and I mean, are you? It's up to you. You tell me how you identify. But if you were a part of, let's say, her all female stream, and this happened, like, how would you feel about it? Do you think? Obviously, you don't know because you wouldn't be in that situation, but like.
Well, I've been in toxic teams before, and because I did try to actually join like a girl kind of like streamer thing, and it just got totally, nobody was racist, but they were just terrible people, and it was like, but I knew the vibe was off from the beginning. Like, I was like, I don't like this girl, and she was like the leader of the group.
Oh,
and my boyfriend was like, "Honey, you're never gonna like, you don't even like the person who's running it," but I just didn't. And then she turned out to be like, anyways, I was right.
I was right.
But I think that if this happened, like, pretty much, like, everyone in the group collectively is like, okay, we can keep this group, but you're out of the group. Like, and that's what I feel like the Queens of Quarantine kind of did. Like you said, it was disbanded, and I didn't really know about this, to be honest with you. But I think that what they did is they collectively said, like, that's not okay, and we're not on board with that, and you're, like, not in this anymore. And I think that's probably just, I would probably just shun her like everyone else, I guess. Rebranding would be probably the best move, but you don't want to lose all that work that you did to build something so good, especially because another minority in gaming is women. Obviously, you don't want to sabotage women in gaming because of, a setback, like, a racist. But I think, like, I would want to keep it up And if I was part of it, like I said, I think collectively moving her out and just, you know, maybe even adding Black women in, just like, all right, come on, like she's gone, don't be scared, come on in.
Yeah, how hard is that though?
You know,
like,
yeah.
It's like what Gabe said, you know, like as especially for a Black female gamer in fighting games, like it's already super hard to find, first of all. And then if you find a place and you feel like you're included and you want to be a part of this, and then you find out the tournament organizer who is doing it happens to be racist, it's like, damn, like, will you ever have anything that you can actually feel comfortable with doing? Like, you already have the fact that you're a woman in gaming. You already have the fact that they're racist and you're Black in gaming. Like, it just becomes harder and harder to be able to be a part of this, and that's why it sucks so much, because I'm like, girl, you are a minority yourself, like, stop being racist against other minorities. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, everything that you are is a minority in fighting games. You've done something really great. You've got this Red Bull partnership. You've been able to get a prize pool for this. You've been able to create an event for all females in fighting games. Like, this is awesome, and you're just fucking ruining it because you're a racist bitch.
But honestly, history is full of people that did great things and then turned out to be racist. And it's really like, it kind of sucks that their achievements, like, you want to keep them, but at the same time, how can you trust anything that they've done at that point?
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, I think, like I said, you're on a team, you find out she's terrible, you kick her out and move on and rebrand.
And hope for the best.
Yeah. Just try to pick up the pieces of what you have left with the connections that you still have with people, just so, like I said, another marginalized group of people in gaming isn't completely lost, like women, and the tournament can live on.
Let's hope for the best. Greysun, Brandon, did you guys want to add into this, or?
I will. I'll piggyback after something that Kellie said. It's something that comes up all too often, honestly, that racism in itself, it stems from ignorance. Like, a racist person, for example, does some, like, really good stuff, right? It's what it says is they know enough that, you know, like, maybe donating to a charity or trying to, like, get other people involved that wouldn't ordinarily. They know enough that that's good, but because they're ignorant, they don't realize enough that, you know, discriminating against someone just because of their race, sexuality is bad. And honestly, racist, like, obviously, I would say it makes us all upset, but to me, it does that too, but it also makes me disappointed, especially if they're doing especially if they're racist is doing, like, a lot of good stuff, but then they're racist. It's like, oh, you're so close, but there's somewhere along the way, you learned something wrong, and you just kept going with your and developed who you are, and it's just like, ugh. It's very similar. It's very similar to the thing that's going on with J.K. Rowling right now, because, you know, she's transphobic. But let's not forget, she's like she's transphobic, and that's unforgivable. But she has done a lot of good for the community. Like, she donates a shit ton to charities. Yeah. It's just that she has this antiquated view about the way a person should be, and she just will not let go of that. And it's, you know, it's what are you gonna say? What can you say? Like, it's completely awful, and that's the biggest thing. It's a disappointment because of all the good she had done beforehand, and then it's just like,
Greysun,
bitch. Sorry.
Oh my god. Like, and I'll use the example for you. If, like, you find out that, you know, you're a part of something and the person in charge is homophobic, like, how would that make you feel? Like, what would happen then?
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't want to be pretty much partnered up with that person or pretty much have any affiliation with that person. And I would most definitely let other people know about, you know, about that if I ever learn that knowledge about someone, I think.
Really like what they're doing.
Oh, I don't know. It depends on the, well, no, I would not like that person. And I don't think I would work with them in any capacity, even if it was something, I don't know. It would be a hard decision, of course, because, like, if it was something that involved me making a ton of money, like you mentioned before, like winning a tournament or something, it's like, damn, like, what do you...
Right? Like, I don't want to lose out because I'm fucking good at this, right? Like, this is my opportunity.
And you made your way there and you worked so hard to get there, and, like, you don't want to let this person ruin that for you. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I don't know.
So
don't be racist. That's what I...
don't be racist. Thank you.
Get out of all this, yeah.
So speaking of things that have been ruined... Thanks for that segue. Google Stadia is one of them. So,
hello.
You have to actually be something to be ruined, to be honest. So.
Oh my gosh! Well, y'all shitting on them. So
Roasting the marshmallows.
I didn't even say what happened yet.
Okay, well, go on.
So much shitting on them. So it was announced recently that Google Stadia, and this is coming from Kotaku, the article's titled "Google Stadia shuts down internal studios, changing business focus." So it says, Google Stadia, the late 2019 streaming platform that promised to revolutionize gaming by letting users stream games without needing to own a powerful PC or console, is altering course, getting out of the game-making business, and will now offer its platform directly to game publishers alongside offering Stadia Pro to the public. So, before I move on, I just want to unpack that a little bit first. I'm going to read it again. They're now getting out of the game-making business, and they're offering their platform directly to game publishers. So this reminds me of... I remember when Stadia first came out, we were all just or not all of us, I specifically was just this, I think, is a bad idea. Because I don't think that people have I personally didn't have the infrastructure to be able to run anything through Google Stadia. I am a staunch believer in not having to have your platform or your gaming systems be connected to internet to work. I know we talked about this before. I think it's trash. I couldn't play my fucking Xbox because I wasn't somewhere with internet, excuse me. It's fucking 2020. I don't know. It's 2021, excuse me. I don't understand why the fuck that is still a thing. But moving on to allowing your stuff for game publishers alongside offering Stadia Pro to the public, I want to talk about that first. Do you guys think that this is going to help Google Stadia in any way by not focusing on games but allowing their platform to be used by publishers?
By publishers? Yeah, no, not really.
I just see a bunch of no, shaking head, no, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, no.
I don't really feel like I even have an opinion on Google Stadia at this point. I don't even care enough to say anything. I mean, that's worse than just saying no.
That is worse than just saying no.
Nobody's... Sorry.
It was beyond the fact that you always need to be online to play it, which of course is a detriment to so many people already. Getting that out of the way, just talking about when they at least had Stadia first party games, there was at least a chance because those represented games that couldn't be played anywhere else. It's what any console would need to survive, basically, to have the exclusives that you can't play anywhere else, and the third party stuff was just to make sure it stays competitive in the market, right? But this, if you're losing a first party and it's only third party stuff, you've already cut your very limited market that you may or may not have actually had, and just skewed it even further. Because what's the incentive for Stadia now? You can get these games now on your PlayStation or your Xbox, your PC.
There is technically still the incentive of not having to own a full powerful PC to be able to play the game at its best. That is still
right.
A thing.
Yeah. But that to me is if I was a consumer that owned Stadia and was playing Stadia games, and then I get this announcement that now their first party studio is shutting out and it's only third party, that doesn't inspire confidence in me as a consumer that you're going to continue supporting this. People already predicted that Google has notoriously started many projects in the past and just canceled them without any fanfare and just quietly sunsetted it. Sunset's generous because that's at least saying that they're going to gradually, they're just nope, we're done. Screw you guys who bought it. Thanks, but we're done. So people saw the Stadia, and they felt that this reeked of this same kind of pattern. And this feels like the first step in its ultimate downfall, that now that there's nothing there to keep someone from going elsewhere besides the benefit of not having that console, which is I don't even know if that's that much of a benefit, if we're being completely honest.
I feel like Stadia had some good things, though. I know we're all shitting on them, but I really... no, okay, hear me out. I don't know if you guys remember when they showed off Stadia at first, and then we had that situation where you could watch a streamer playing a game, jump directly into their stream from watching them on YouTube and play directly with them, or that thing where you could play two people at one time playing it, but you can see separate screens. I don't remember exactly what it was. They had some really cool things feature wise that I thought, wow, this is something I would eventually pay for if it became prominent enough down the line. But I mean, to continue with that, the article goes on to say that Google will continue to operate the Stadia gaming service and its $10 monthly Stadia Pro service. I don't know. I don't know. So yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say was like in response to everything you just said, Jerel. What you just described, that streaming feature, yeah, that's a great feature. Mm-hmm. It sure is a great feature. Like, and to be fair, that did have Stadia like stand out, but that's something that I could see Microsoft doing that in like 2 to 3 years, like and implementing that as part of their Game Pass. Honestly,
wait, no, actually, I disagree.
Why so?
I have absolutely no idea how you would integrate jumping into people's games through Game Pass, because Microsoft.
Okay, maybe not Game Pass specifically. Yeah, that's fair. But
I don't even know how it would happen. I think the only place that could essentially be able to do something like that would be Google, because you would have to go through like Amazon and Twitch to be able to do like integrate that feature with your system.
Well, Twitch has extensions and plugins where you can play with people from Twitch.
But not on console, right? Like only on PC. Am I wrong? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think.
I don't know. It depends. If it's a cross-platform game, then you can play.
But all I'm saying is like, if if one of the big three was to do it, I would predict to be Microsoft. I definitely don't see Sony and Nintendo doing something like this. But if any of the three were to do it, I feel like Microsoft would figure out a way to do it. Especially if Stadia eventually just completely dies. That's a really good feature that I wouldn't want to just die.
Microsoft fucked over Mixer, and how I still don't see how they would be able to go through, like, because then it's like YouTube, like you gotta get through YouTube to be able to allow people to, like, the amount of, well, I mean, they bought Bethesda, so never mind. They spent a shit ton of money. Maybe they can do it. I don't know. What do I know? Clearly, they're just throwing money out here. So
I don't know. All I'm saying is it's a really good feature, and I think I don't think it'll just die completely. It's too much of a concept. It's too much of a futuristic concept that seems like it makes sense to me.
Yeah,
it's futuristic. It's just I don't think it's ready yet. I think
sure, and that's the sum of this whole damn story. Like Stadia is not necessarily a bad idea. It's just we're not in a state of society where it's just like we're just a Stadia. Yeah, society's not ready for something like this yet.
And then you have to think about also the first party games that they were putting out aren't that good.
People aren't talking
about them.
Like, and that could be the reason why
I can name like two of them. Like I remember they launched with Guilt, which is that weird little horror game that nobody really talked about. They put out like a Overcooked packing game that was exclusive to Stadia, which is not anything to
an Overcooked
about.
Game.
No,
it was called Get Packed or Get.
Oh, okay. They literally put an Overcooked down right here.
No. It's either called Get Packed or Moving Out or one of those games.
I think it's Moving Out, but it was also really cute.
That's on other platforms now.
That game was really cute.
Yeah, and it's like those aren't titles to pull people in first of all, and then from what I remember, they hired like if you guys remember Journey to the Savage Planet, that developer joined Stadia like maybe like not even 6 months ago to develop games for Stadia exclusively, and now this deal is over. And that game wasn't like, critically acclaimed. So I feel like they just haven't been trying their hardest to push their first party development in the first place. So I don't know if it was either that they didn't have enough from the beginning they weren't really like hyped about it, like they knew it wasn't really going to be that great. I don't know. I think this news doesn't really change much for like the grand scheme of things because they weren't really putting out a whole bunch of first party games to begin with. I don't know. It just, yeah.
Well, whoa, what am I saying? So I think it was 150 of those developers. Yeah. Back to this article, there's a quote from it that says that the closure of this will impact around 150 developers. One source familiar with Stadia operations said. The company says it will try to find those developers new roles at Google. So, I mean, on top of being shitty, 150 developers are now out of a job. I would be very pissed, although, never mind, I'm not going to say that. I'd be very pissed if that were to happen to me. Gabe, did you want to hop in on this?
Can you guys hear me fine now?
I can hear you fine.
Yeah.
My connection was all over the place. I don't know what's happening. Yeah, my bad.
Let me look up.
I don't really have much to say about it, but all I can think about when I heard the news, all I thought about was that Hutchinson dude.
Alex Hutchinson.
You talked about him a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
The very first thing I did was go to his Twitter when I heard the news to see what he was doing.
I remember now.
Yeah. I'm still mad at him, even though it had nothing to do with me because I'm not a streamer. So, but like, I kind of want to haha and point at him, but again, there's about 150 developers that are now out, out of a job.
For context, can you explain what you're talking
about? So this dude was saying that every single streamer should pay, I can't remember if it was paid developers or pay, what was it, paid developers or pay Twitch?
Pay to play, like
pay
broadcast
Twitch, I think,
the
to
game.
broadcast the game. Or no, pay the
developer,
to broadcast the
pay
game
the developer
that they already own.
Yeah, so he wanted streamers to pay an extra amount of money, even though they, spent anywhere between $20 to $60, $70 on a game. Prices may vary. To stream. And that was one of the, how do I say this without being a jerk?
You can't.
That was one of the stupidest things I've heard in a while. It made no sense. He tried explaining it, but he didn't do a good job at it.
I was on his side a little bit.
Yeah, and that's why I still yell at you.
I was just saying I understood where he was coming from. I didn't agree with him.
But I did
Jerel
understand
where he was
trying to shine light on it. Still don't like it. So that's why I kind of, just focused on him really. But again, 150 developers now out of a job, and there's no guarantee they're going to get a new job because the statement Jerel read said try. We usually know how that goes.
Sure.
I do feel like it is going to open someone. I think from the little snippets I was gathering while my connection was going in and out, Jerel said something. You said something about Google, right?
Yes, I said a lot about Google.
All right, and then again, I was only getting snippets because I was coming in and out. But because it was. No, I know, but I know, I'm not on crack. That's an inside joke. But because I think it was in response to Brandon saying. Because it was Brandon saying something about, Microsoft now being able to implement the cloud streaming stuff into their Game Pass.
Well, so what I was going to say, actually, yeah, that's what Brandon was saying. They could possibly integrate it into Game Pass. But what I was going to say next was that Ryan McCaffrey from IGN put out a tweet, and it says, Google kneecapping Stadia just opens the door for Microsoft to completely own cloud gaming with xCloud. They've already messaged it better, and they're obviously not going to pull the plug on first-party software support. So Ryan McCaffrey also apparently agrees with Brandon in a sense, but using xCloud, not Game Pass.
Yeah. That makes more sense.
So now I know where we are.
Would work for like cloud gaming.
Yeah.
Like because you don't ever have to download the games.
Right.
It's like it could be a streaming service.
But and correct me if I'm wrong, xCloud and Stadia are two very different ways of streaming. Like I believe that Stadia would have been, if you had the connection, a better, more stable way of playing games than xCloud, right?
Yeah, I think Microsoft is laying the foundation though with the Game Pass. That would make sense if you didn't have to download the games and you could just stream them directly from Game Pass. Yeah, games are hard though, like that. I mean, seriously.
But then
I feel like that'd be really hard.
What happens when you do games like how you have to what is that game? I think it was Control that was streamed to the Switch.
You're talking about the cloud version.
Like, what happens when you have games that you're trying to stream through cloud services like Control and they're just trash? Like, what does that mean for xCloud?
Well, I can't speak on what that means for xCloud specifically, but I know that for the Switch games that have the cloud versions, what they do is they let you play about 10, 15 minutes of the game free to see if your connection is stable enough to actually run the game before you actually play it. And if it is,
that you're wrong. I heard that, because Hitman 3, please correct me if I'm wrong, but Hitman 3 is one of those games that you don't get a test before you try the game on Switch. Like if you buy it and it's trash,
Hitman, you have to go. I know they did. They did the test for Control.
They just let you buy it. They just let you buy Hitman, not knowing if it's good, and you spent $60 and it could be terrible, and you can't get a refund. You can't even play it.
I wonder if
Control had a demo though.
Yes, the Control did. So I assumed all of it was because that made so much sense. So I don't know why Hitman wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's people out there who are just downloading the Control demo or whatever to see if they can run Hitman. Just like I wonder if
it's the same technology. So
sure. I mean, but they can't be 1-to-1. But I think it would at least be a really good litmus test to see you can run Hitman if you can run Control, because Control's also a pretty beefy game.
Yeah. I tried that trial and actually wasn't bad. Like it was surprisingly good. Like it ran well.
How is your internet though, like on average?
I don't know like the speed numbers, but I don't have issues with anything. Like it's pretty good.
See, my shit goes down to like 3 megabytes a second, which is like literally unable to play a thing. like I'm literally just looking at a loading screen. It can go down to that, but then it could go up to like 60 or 55 or on a good day 75, even though I'm paying for 300. So, that's life for
you're
me.
being robbed, my guy.
100% robbed.
If you're getting 3, then you're supposed to be getting 300. Then you need to
300. I know it's trash.
Yeah, that's 100th of what you're paying for.
But yeah, go ahead, Gabe.
But because I wasn't done. No. But my final point was gonna be like, in all honesty, Stadia offered no competition to anybody. We can get that out of the way right now. I'm not even saying that to be a dick. It's just. It wasn't. It was a great idea. They pitched it. It was one of those ideas that's very good on paper, but as soon as you pitch it and you can't deliver, it's like, all right, we're gonna forget about that. So now it's gonna be interesting to see, what these other companies do, if they're gonna take and try and learn from Stadia's mistakes, which I wouldn't know because I don't keep up with Stadia because I don't use it, and implement it and see if they're gonna try. Actually, we're forgetting about one little thing. We're forgetting about Amazon's cloud gaming. Is
Luna.
Luma.
Amazon Luna.
Yeah, Luma.
Luma?
I don't remember her name.
I think it's Luna. I think
it's Luna, not Luma.
Luna? Okay, Amazon Moon for my non-Spanish speaking people out there. So that again, this is me playing the crazy conspiracy guy. You might want to look out for a little collaboration between Google and Amazon. Or if not, it's just going to be Amazon Luna is going to be regarded as the first successful cloud streaming device, service, subscription, whatever. And everyone's going to forget about Stadia, and we're going to laugh at them. And I'm going to go back to Alex Hutchinson's tweets and laugh.
I mean, call me a pessimist, but I don't see Amazon doing great either.
I don't think it's
I'm going to be honest. Yeah, neither do I. Neither do I. I don't even
crash and burn.
They just canceled their MMO. Like, they tried gaming.
Crucible, right? Yes,
it didn't work out. They were like, nope, this shit ain't working. I don't see their streaming doing much better.
I think just to add on to what Gabe was saying, Jerel, I'm going to bring up a question that you and both Christy asked on the day that Stadia was announced. The question was specifically, who is Stadia for?
Oh, yeah, and that sounds like something
no one could really answer that because it's like, ostensibly, it's a casual console because you don't even need a console to play Stadia games, but then the Stadia games that they were advertising was stuff like Assassin's Creed and other hardcore big third-party games, which are usually played by people that own PC or consoles. So then, therefore, who is Stadia for? It's like, and like, once you guys asked that question, I thought about it. It's like, yeah, that's true. Who needs this exactly?
Stadia to me has the problem that Game Pass has for me specifically. I know not for a lot of people, but the first time I got Game Pass, every game that I wanted to play, I already owned on Switch. So it was like, well, this is literally useless for me. I already have all these games. There's nothing new I want to play.
The only push I think I saw, like the real push I saw Stadia do, was like the whole Destiny 2 thing. Like obviously that game had been out. But they were like, if you get it on Stadia, you get the I forgot what the name of the expansion was, but you get it like 2 weeks before. And hey guys, you can transfer all your console progress to the Stadia version.
But then why would you
wink,
even do that?
Why would you want to do
that? But then why would I have to, if I have a console, I'm not switching to Stadia. I'm going to tell you that right now.
There's like latency issues, like it's not fun to play, like it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Like if you already bought a console, then there's no benefit to Stadia.
There's no point. Yeah.
It's if you didn't buy the console already.
Yeah, I have a PS4. Just like I didn't get a PS5 means I'm gonna switch over to Stadia all of a sudden. Like,
I didn't
there's
get
no-
a PS5. I'm gonna play Stadia.
oh yeah, you know what?
Imagine
Google-
playing
you know what Google
Astrobot and being like, this shit sucks. Can we get a stick?
Astrobot's
shit
great.
doo-doo,
By the way.
totally.
Throwing that out there. Astrobot's great.
That's what I'm saying.
Mhm.
It's like, imagine playing the DualSense and be like, this shit sucks.
Do any of
You know what?
know?
That's the type of people who would go for.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they
People
would
who
buy
have
Stadia.
no gaming sense. Yeah.
They would buy Stadia.
Oh, this game sucks. Everyone else likes it. I'm gonna buy Stadia. All right, dude.
But then-
you're taking your therapy.
Do any of you guys know the Switch game that doesn't uses and this is just a shot in the dark. If you don't know, it's fine. The Switch game that uses its own matchmaking service, was it Monster Hunter? No, it uses like
Monster Hunter uses a new
matchmaking.
yeah, it uses the in-game matchmaking. I'm sorry, no, it uses the matchmaking on the Switch, so like you can actually go through your friends list and select the friends that you want to add to the game. Does anyone know what game that is?
There are surprisingly few games.
But that sounds
I think they're
good as fuck.
It's amazing, and I can't remember the name of the game that does that.
I can't either, but I do know what you're talking about, because it's a feature that they added to the Switch like ages ago, and very few games use it.
Yeah, because like they basically
It's not Mario Kart or anything, is it?
Mm-mm.
It's definitely not Mario Kart.
It's not a first party title.
I don't play anything online.
I mean, you okay.
Uh.
But I was just thinking about it, but because I want to move on to something that also happened this week, which is that Nintendo has been using the Next multiplayer server system, which is over 18 years old. The system dates back to the GameCube era of Nintendo. It's an archaic system by now, and server-side technology has advanced greatly in that time. Thankfully, it seems Nintendo's finally ditching that system in favor of a new one. This new system is named NPLN, and it's currently in the preview phase. Monster Hunter Rise demo was the first test for this new multiplayer system. As a result, Monster Hunter Rise should be the first game to natively support it. This is from finalweapon.net. And the name of the article is Nintendo's replacing NEX, their multiplayer server system after 18 years of use, introducing the new NPLN system with Monster Hunter Rise being the first game to support it. So, 18 years of service for multiplayer, I think kind of explains why it's trash. I'm not gonna necessarily shit on the Switch right now, but if you guys have any thoughts on this, please let me know. But I want to know, do you guys think that switching over will make a difference?
Man, I hope so.
I say that
yeah, one could hope, but we don't. I feel like we don't know, what that really means.
We don't.
I say that
And, like,
while thinking that, and I'm gonna say no, because I still think of how difficult first-party games are to get together with friends to play on Switch. Like, I know we talk about Pokemon, how you have to go through, like, a million fucking things and type in a password of 8 characters to link up with someone, or, a Smash Room, you have to make it, find your friend, go through this. You can't just, there is no, and correct me if I'm wrong, but there is no, first-party Nintendo title that just lets you just fucking connect with your friends and play. Splatoon is another one where you've gotta just, go through, create a room, everybody's gotta go in, and ARMS? Nobody plays ARMS.
I feel like ARMS had good multiplayer.
Did it? It probably did.
It had good online multiplayer as well.
It's funny, because
solid online.
Yeah, like Smash Brothers will be shitty sometimes, but then you have games like ARMS, where I used to play online, pretty often when I used to have it, and every match would be perfect, no lag at all. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is.
Though. Nintendo still doesn't have, or the Switch rather, still doesn't have a dedicated LAN port. Without buying that extension.
The adapter, right?
Yeah.
The adapter for the LAN port,
even if you've got great internet, you're still stuck to the Wi-Fi on the Switch. So even if they do replace their 18-year-old bullshit, I mean, what happens next?
Well, as far as I know, as far as I can see with all this, it's all it's really gonna improve ostensibly is just the online itself, and we don't even know if that's for sure thing. Because like you said, they don't have dedicated, a lot of these games don't have dedicated ways to no LAN, for example. But there's also, like you said, only one game that you knew of has the ability to just go to your friends list and just invite them there. No, you got to do codes and whatnot. So it's not gonna improve unless they do a patch, and it's not gonna improve the infrastructure of existing games. It will just hopefully improve the online. And one real quick note before Gabe says what he was going to say. This news report, I just read it and I just got like a sense of relief because I was like, I finally have an answer to why this shit's trash sometimes. Like,
Yo.
and that was the main thing I took from this. I'm like, 18 years. Well, yeah, that would do it, I guess.
And now
That
I'm
would
gonna
do
talk more shit because I've been paying $20 a year for some 18-year-old bullshit. Like, y'all told me that when I put extra money on here, when you charged me for online, I was supposed to have a better service. But now you're telling me I paid $20 for y'all to have the same 18-year-old shit, so I didn't even get shit? You know what Nintendo is doing? Secretly, they did exactly what Microsoft did, which was raise the price and give us absolutely nothing when they raised the price of Xbox Live for nothing. Nintendo was like, hey, we're going to use the same shit, but we're going to charge them $20 for it and make them think that they're getting something new. And we weren't. Go ahead, Gabe.
To put in perspective about this software that they use for their online, it's so old and outdated that it still scans for Windows 98.
Yeah.
Was that like factual? Because I saw that, but I didn't know if it was real.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's in the report. And listen again, I said Windows 98, not Windows 2000 something, not Windows 1 through 10. 98.
That's great.
You know what I was doing in 98? I was crawling.
I was playing
Oh my
some
God,
S64.
You were like
that.
7.
I was playing Pokemon Red, probably.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Mario
Some of
Party
us
2 is a
weren't
fun
born
game,
in the
guys.
dinosaur ages.
Wait, that didn't come out. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
But, I read more on that report and more on people's inputs about it. Something interesting I saw was, obviously when they finally make that switch for everything, it's not It's not going to be like a sudden it's going to be very gradual. So your Smash Online, unfortunately, is still going to be a little laggy. Which also I found out. Quick side note. And this is probably going to fuel Jerel's hatred of Nintendo Online more. Smash Online, the way it operates is usually when you go, there's a lot of people that when you go into an arena to play online, and it starts lagging, you think it's the host. No, it's one individual person. So the arenas don't actually pull from the host. It doesn't make like a mini host server. It's going to run on everyone's internet. So if you start lagging, it's not the host. It's either your internet or there's someone in that arena that sucks. And you're all going to suffer for it.
This is what I was saying.
That's something I found out. That's something I found out recently. But I do hope, of course, all you guys are a little pessimistic on whether online is going to get better. I think it's going to get better. Again, not immediately. It's going to take a lot longer than we would like because, again, the Switch has been out for 4 years. We're coming up on 4 years now. And the last little part of it, because Jerel talked about paying for online and you're not really getting anything. Something tells me, I don't even know if this is legal. It's probably not, but this is a throw in the dark. Something tells me they were making us pay online to develop this new software they're going to use. And if that's the case, I'm going to be very upset because that's ridiculous. Again, that's a throw in the dark, not official, probably wrong, but that's what it looks like. So yeah, English is surprisingly not my first language, and I'm still very bad at it. I really hope that this is giving us more. Why am I wording it so wrong? I hope that this means that Switch Pro or whatever is coming out next is gonna have little online upgrades. Like Jerel said, it's gonna have hopefully it has the Ethernet adapter on the dock. Hopefully they put the wireless adapters or connection thingies somewhere better on the Switch. Because if you're gonna work on just
so horrible for me,
right? What to have the
yes.
No, I mean on the dock, not on the Switch itself.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry. I'm talking about on the dock, not like on the Switch itself, because that would look
so now
disgusting.
I gotta go buy another Switch.
Jerel, I don't want to. Okay, hold
You're
on. Before Jerel starts attacking, before Jerel starts attacking Nintendo, I don't want to hear you complaining about buying another something when you've bought 5 Switches and then you have 1,000 Joy-Cons. So we're gonna get that out of the way right now, Jerel. The money is not the problem for you. It's not buying something else. It's just you don't like it.
About 4 Switch. No, you're right. It's fine. But
yeah,
that's
fine.
That's not fair. Okay, like, it's not fair that...
It's not. It's not,
This
but
is
you
more
know,
iterations
again,
than PlayStation and Xbox had. I think.
I think at this point, even though we don't want to, we just have to realize that Nintendo is going to be stuck in the dinosaur age for, you know, a couple of more years, and they're going to move a little slow. It's not fair that you're going to have to buy an upgraded version of Switch. I don't like that idea because they've already upgraded the Switch, I think, twice since its original release. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think it's...
But they did that at once with like an extra battery.
Yeah.
It was once?
Okay.
No, Switch Lite.
Yeah, and the Switch Lite, which...
But that's what I mean. Like, that's already two different iterations of like the same thing.
so-
Even though you can't really count the Switch Lite. I won't technically count the Switch
Yeah,
Lite,
it's just a
but-
handheld console.
Yeah, because it's
Really?
a handheld, but still, the fact that you had to, you know, release a quote unquote new Switch with a longer battery life because your first one could only last like 3 hours off the dock. You know, it's one thing to release a new version of your what's it called of your console. You know, if you're giving it like actual upgrades, like from the PS4 to the PS4 Pro, or if you're changing the size of it, which you technically did from the Switch to the Switch Lite, like, you know, the PS4 and the PS4 Slim. But then it's another thing to, you know, just re-release your console at the same price, mind you, which was not cheap. And then just be like, yeah, we upgraded the battery.
Do you guys remember on Black Friday when they were selling the old models for like the same price as the new models?
Oh my god!
Yeah.
That is
Fucking worse.
the biggest
I was
ripoff.
working.
Stupid.
I worked for GameStop. I don't know if I'm allowed. I don't work there anymore, so I can say this. I was working for
tell.
GameStop.
Yeah.
I was working for GameStop, and we were setting up for Black Friday. And my manager's like, she was pointing like, you know, these are the newer models of the Switch and these are the old ones. And someone was like, why are they all mixed in together? And she goes, because we're all selling them at the same price. I'm like, what?
Like a random select.
I felt so bad because some kid came up to me. He's like, hey, isn't there a new model of the Switch? I was like, the Switch Lite? He goes, no, it's like an upgrade. It has a longer battery life. I'm like, yeah, it's this Switch. And I pointed at the pile, couldn't tell which one was the new one. And something tells me he took one of the older
It had a
models.
different color. It had like a different color on the box. I
It
think.
did. The box
red.
was
The thing is, it was stacked in such a way that you couldn't tell. And again, it's Black Friday at a GameStop at a mall. You don't have time to sit there and look because you have all these people. And like, I gave him the Switch and like, I watched him walk away. I'm like, this poor kid, dude. Like,
He just wanted
like something tells me. I
Like, why
gave
does
him
it last
old
1
one.
hour?
Yeah, like I'm genuinely surprised he didn't come back later and be
That's
like,
so
yeah,
funny.
this Switch is only lasting 3 hours. I'm like, oh, look, bro, I don't know what to tell you.
She's playing like Fire Emblem or something.
Poor kid.
Yeah.
It was
Oh, Fire Emblem 3 Houses. If
it's
you
the only
haven't
time
played
I
it,
feel
play
bad for a kid. It's the only time I feel bad for a kid. Because
That
Grayson,
sucks.
if you've you know, obviously you've heard, and anyone else hearing, I have this thing of, you know, fuck them kids, because
it. Yeah, he hates
Yeah.
children. He's trying to kill them all.
I hear you yell at them online.
He makes them cry.
look,
He
look,
is
man,
terrible.
look. If you come at me and you're trying to hurt my feelings, I'm gonna do the same thing. I gotta say, don't use racist remarks, and people aren't gonna make you cry online.
True.
It's that simple.
That's true.
That's fair.
That's facts.
I mean, here we are, back at people being racist. I won't talk too much shit about Nintendo, because I only pay them $30 a year, and that's split up between some people. Yeah, well, I'm on the family plan, so... Well, it might be 35, I think, so I'm only
I
paying
was about to be
$5
like,
for the
what?
trash. I'm
What
only
are you
paying $5
paying for
for the trash. Like, they're scamming me so hard.
Unless you have some extra bonuses we don't know about or something. Like some GameCube games or something.
Oh my god, that's so funny. So recently Activision was sued over a female Call of Duty character because why not, Lindsay Lohan? It's a photographer's dispute. I was joking. It has nothing to do with Lindsay Lohan.
I was like, again with this?
You're like, ooh, I'm interested.
No, Kelly was like, how many times is this bitch gonna like sue people because it looks like her when it doesn't?
It didn't look like her. That shit did not look like her.
Oh, that's
Anyways.
so funny. So, this article's over from Polygon.com, written by Nicole Carpenter, and it says, in 2019, Call of Duty Modern Warfare publisher Activision Blizzard introduced a new character to its game, an operator named Mara. A writer and photographer is now alleging that the company intentionally modeled Mara after his own character, Cade Janice, from a short story called November Renaissance. So essentially, this person is like, hey, that looks exactly like the character in my game. I'm gonna sue Activision Blizzard. And it goes on to say that he filed a copyright infringement lawsuit in a Texas court on Tuesday. According to court documents first published by Torrent Freak, he alleged that Activision Blizzard and developer Infinity Ward willfully intended to model Mara after Kate Janis, including hiring the same model, Alex Zedra, to reproduce the photo shoot and scan her likeness for use in the game. He said that the developer posted Kate Janis photographs on the photography studio wall during the Call of Duty Modern Warfare shoot. So essentially, what he's saying is they hired the same actor that he hired for his game. They posted photos of that character from his game while they were working on Call of Duty, and they intentionally and knowingly created this character to look exactly the same. Now, I am not going to say much on this because I don't know, so I'm going to let y'all tell me what y'all think. But if you hire an artist, or if you hire a model, if Greyson's making a game and he hires a model, I'm like, damn, that bitch is pretty. Like, let me put her in my game. And I hire the same model, and I want her in my game. Can Greysun then sue me because I hired this woman as a model in my game?
Yeah, I'm like, is that really illegal? Because
it's the same.
It's sort of like, hey, I really like your look in this movie or whatever it is, whatever. And it's like, I want you to have that same look in my thing, but you're not necessarily stealing that character.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like the way and this is like a basic ass character. She has like short black hair.
Right.
Like anybody can, she looks like Kara from Mandalorian as well.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I mean, it literally is like anyone.
I don't know if this person like is just looking for some Activision money, because if you're gonna go after like a video game developer.
The thing is that if he, well, yeah, but she owns her own likeness. Unless he somehow owns the rights to her likeness
exactly.
in a video game, that he has no case. I mean, he might get some money from Microsoft to make it go away, I guess, but if it's modeled after a real person, she should be suing them. But she got paid.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
she got paid both times. So she's like giving them money.
She's like, oh man, I'm gonna get paid when they sue too.
Right.
I mean, if it's modeled after a real person, I don't see why you have any case there. That's just really stupid.
Well, I'm assuming that the reason he says that he has a case is because they used pictures of his character while working on her character for Call of Duty. So he feels like it's just like full copyright infringement. Like they totally just stole the same thing. But I kind of also agree with you. So, it says, I'll continue reading. It says, in addition to hiring the same talent, they also hired the same makeup professional who prepared the talent. And they instructed the makeup professional to prepare the talent exactly as she had done for the Kate Janis photographs, which is his. And they instructed her to style the talent's hair exactly as they had done for his photographs as well, even using the same hairpiece extensions. So I guess when it comes down to that, he's like, all right, well, look, these bitches hired the same person, the same makeup team, the same hair extensions, like the same exact thing. At this point, if I were him, I'd be mad too. But also, I'm also kind of like Kelly, what can you really do? Like, if someone wanted to hire me and they wanted me to look exactly like I did over there, I mean, I'm gonna just say, okay, pay me. And then that person's just gonna be mad.
Yeah, I don't understand. I guess I get that it was his style, but if I wear a t-shirt and a flannel, I can't just then be like, you can't wear that too. I mean, you can't just have a monopoly on style. I guess they did really take it overboard.
They did.
Copying everything.
They did.
But I guess it was his concept. So he really does probably have a right. But honestly, those makeup artists and models, they get paid for this. So, but then again, as long as it was his styling and everything, and it wasn't just what the makeup artist or what she looks like, then I forgot what I started saying. Shit. Whatever.
I also just feel like Activision probably shouldn't be stealing characters from books.
Bruh,
just you guys have a shit ton of money.
Exactly. That's
hire. I don't know. Just hire. It's just hire someone to create the characters for you. But I'm sure someone saw it somewhere. Was like, I want that. That's the perfect look. They probably had that eureka moment with the Call of Duty developer or whatever, the artist. And I get it, but don't they didn't need to hire all those people. Like,
Like hiring the same exact people.
it's not a hard look to recreate. Really, it's not like she's just like an army girl lady, like generic. I don't understand. And they probably ask her too, I guess, right? Like,
I would assume so.
I don't know how.
They're like, tell us
Like, who
everything.
did
Who
your
did you
makeup?
work
What?
with?
Who's your agent? What did you wear? What shoes? Like everything.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
The only thing that annoys me about this story, honestly, is that Activision Blizzard is a huge company. So it's like, why
It
y'all
is.
took this from this little man? Like, this is the one thing he had, and you just come in, and it's just like, we want exactly like that. And this guy's like, fuck the big man. And that's the only reason I'm on his side, is because, come on, Activision Blizzard. Like, why y'all
Yeah.
did this to him? He had one good thing going for him, you know? Like, he's a small indie dude, and you come in here and you harass his model, make her find the same people, or you, like, go behind the scenes and you're like, oh my god, who did this, who did that? Like, leave them alone. Go model a better character, because, like Greysun said, she's pretty basic. Like, no offense to the model, you're beautiful.
No offense.
But, like, it's a basic, generic... Yes, there it is. Yeah, it's literally
You
a
can't even
basic...
see it. It's a
generic-
gun in front of her face.
Like, that half the game is a gun in front of her face. It's a basic generic character, and like I see the resemblance, but like, dude, calm down. Everybody just calm down. Go hire a black lady and put her in the game, damn it. Like, it's Black History Month. Go hire a black woman.
In Call
Stop
of
this.
Duty, you don't even see your character.
They're not even.
Yeah, that's
they're not even-
true.
It's a first-person shooter. You don't even see it. You see the arms. That's it.
Also, the character was first available as part of Call of Duty Modern Warfare Season 1 Battle Pass, which you can buy for 1,000 COD points or around $10. So you gotta go pay to be basic. Which is like, I mean, I guess they made money off of, like, her, I guess. I don't know. Well, I just thought that was really wild. So, now's the fun part. Let's talk about money. Unless anybody else wanted to talk any more about...
No, money. Yeah, money.
No money. Let's go money. Let's start.
Money.
Those financial earnings.
Yes, which are fucking ridiculous for Nintendo. But before I start on Nintendo, I wanted to start on the Square Enix portion, which I thought was just really interesting. So over at GameSpot, there's an article titled "Square Enix remains profitable despite steep losses in the wake of the Marvel's Avengers launch." So we all know that Marvel's Avengers was a pretty bad take for Square Enix. But despite that, they also had last year Final Fantasy VII Remake, and they made a lot of money, surprisingly, on their mobile titles as well. They had Dragon Quest, they had Final Fantasy XIV, they got Dragon Quest. Square Enix has a shit ton of stuff, so I want to talk a little bit about what happened with them. So the article from GameStop says that Square Enix has released their latest earnings report, despite its gaming side operating at a loss for the last 2 consecutive quarters, which is so bad. The company has managed to achieve year-on-year growth and remain profitable in the process, which, like, it's so crazy to me, and, like, honestly, that's the reason I want to talk about this. It's so crazy to me that you can have such a big loss for 2 quarters and still come out making money because of, you know, set titles that people are just super excited to play. Like, that makes absolutely no sense. Like, here's 2 quarters of trash. Like, we're just going downhill. We're not making any money, and in the end, it's like, oh no, but we made more than we did last year, so we're all good. It says the company saw operating income rise by 47.7% to 41,022 million yen. Wow, I can't read numbers. And those figures were down 4.3% when compared to 2019's numbers. Final Fantasy VII Remake proved to be a big hit for Square Enix, as its Q1 release saw net sales that were more than double what the company's best period was in 2019, earning 34.1 billion yen. Like, holy shit. Like, these numbers...
That's money.
These numbers are crazy. Like, you could just release Final Fantasy VII and be like, alright, yours done. Like, just put out whatever else you want to.
Yeah.
That's probably what they did. They're like,
Yeah.
Marvel's Avengers doesn't look too great. As long as we have Final Fantasy VII out, just go ahead. Just throw it out. It's fine.
We'll be good. We'll be good.
I can only imagine I only imagine the profit margin it would have been if Avengers had actually been a success.
Oh my god.
This probably would have been their best year in a decade.
And
honestly,
I'm sure they
if
were
Avengers
banking on
was
it.
awesome.
I'm sure they were banking on it being a success because it's right after the, you know, films are done. The cast was really great. Like, the English cast for this game was really great. It's crazy because the story was really good. I think just the gameplay was kind of trash. And it goes on to say that where is it? Square Enix suffered a decline in net sales and operating income despite its earning 18.8 billion yen in that period. A loss of approximately 5 billion yen was recorded during this period. And it says that the fall in profits lines up with the release of Marvel's Avengers in Q2, and they were unable to establish a healthy player base, and it sold below expectations, and sales on MMO games such as Final Fantasy XIV and Dragon Quest X also dipped in 2020. But they still managed to remain profitable thanks to players generating revenue inside of those games. So even though they weren't, they dipped in numbers, people were still buying, in-game shit. Net sales and operating income rose also for PC browsers and smart device games, which include Dragon Quest Walk and Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, which I am currently addicted to and cannot stop playing. I literally was playing it all day today. That's literally all I did. PlayStation has recorded a blockbuster year with 4.5 million sales of the PS5, which we're going to go on to. But Square Enix specifically, Grayson, I think you played Marvel's Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Tell me how you felt.
Like you said, the story I was intrigued by the story, pretty much because I'm not like really an online multiplayer guy, but I was just like willing to give this one a chance because I knew it had the single player mode. But like it comes to a point in a single player campaign where you're just like, you can tell when the game starts to like fall apart because the multiplayer aspects come into the single player, and you're like, wait, what the hell is this? Like,
you can say what the fuck, it's fine.
It's like one mission where like that's when other people can join you, and that's I kind of just dropped off of that, and I never played the story mode again.
Wait, hold on. I need a little clarification on that. Is that like a late game story mission where now you have
it's the beginning.
So
the beginning.
Okay. To kind of describe it a little bit,
Okay.
What happens is, like, when you play the game, you have to go out on these missions, but it's very much not like a story-driven RPG type thing. It's like a games as a service, Destiny style, where, like, you have to go to this, like, you go to an area, and then, like, there's a circle, right? You have to stay in that circle the entire time. And someone can join you, but if they go out of the circle, they kind of fuck up your mission. So, like, you and the other person, like, everyone has to stay inside the circle while you're doing combat. But the really stupid thing is that, like, the characters I had were Hulk and Miss Marvel, right?
Miss Marvel, yeah.
I had Hulk and Miss Marvel. All their moves are fucking huge. Like, you can't, there's no way the Hulk can stay in this tiny fucking circle. It is the most.
And that's the exact mission
thing
I'm talking about, where I stopped playing the game.
You can't do it. Like, you can't.
I was like, this is boring.
And it doesn't feel like a single player experience anymore. It feels like you're like, even when you're playing single player, it feels like you're playing online and there's a timer and you just gotta stand in the circle and like repeat the same thing over and over. And that's how every mission in the game is played. Like, that is how you play gameplay wise for the mission portions. The exploration is fun, everything around that is fun, but then it also becomes one of those go back to the hub, select the next mission, travel to it, stand in the circle, don't go out of the circle, go back to the hub, select the next mission, pay money to do that a little bit more. Like, that's the game.
And it sucks because the beginning, they kind of trick you, right? Because the first hour or two I absolutely loved.
It's so great.
I'm like, Kamala Khan, probably first Muslim main character in a video game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, her family is cool. Oh my god, she's so endearing and it's so heartfelt. I'm learning so much about her background. I started reading her comics because of this game. And then I got to that point that Jerel just said, that mission where it's not linear anymore and it's not story-based, or not focused on the story anymore. You just have to like do these repetitive actions over and over again. And I was liking the combat a little bit at first, but like it does get repetitive after a while, and it doesn't feel that satisfying. And you just kind of feel like you're doing the same thing over and over again. And it's just like, I feel like they had a good story mode somewhere,
and they
like a long campaign, but they wanted to squeeze these MOBA things, like, you know, live act. What's the term for these online games? Like
games.
Live service, whatever. Like, they want to cram that to the story mode and ruin like the only good part of that game, which was like just really unfortunate.
It's like you're literally traversing the city as Kamala Khan in the beginning, and it's so fun. Like, it's kind of like Spider-Man, right? Like, it's like you're just going around doing all the cool shit, and then when it comes to like actual gameplay, it's like, this is not the game I purchased. Like, this is a completely different title. And that's what happens when you try to make money. And you know what happens? Square Enix said it doesn't matter because we released Final Fantasy VII, so we got the money anyway.
Yeah, and this game should have been huge. Like, this game could have been like Animal Crossing big, I think, if it was good. Because it's Avengers, like, Marvel.
Exactly. And on top of that, you know, with Square Enix making so much money, now we also, obviously we don't know what the deal was that they inked with Smash, but then on top of this big year for Final Fantasy VII, now you have Sephiroth and Smash. I'm sure they're just like making more money from deals on Final Fantasy.
Right.
So they're just like
they also re-released another game this year.
Which one?
Final Fantasy?
Well, no.
Dragon Quest?
No. Dragon Quest 11. Yeah, the definitive edition, the Echoes.
Right,
that one came out for PS4 and Xbox this year, and PC this year. So that was another. And again, I don't know if you remember that article I sent you a while ago, Jerel, but Dragon Quest apparently is such a big thing in Japan that that their schools are asked not to be open on a day Dragon Quest comes out because so many kids skip. And again, it's like
game.
Actually, I was going to say something about that. Dragon Quest, they came out with another one, Dragon Quest Tax.
I tried that.
It's pretty good. I guess again, it's like Jerel was saying, like, you're Square Enix and you have all these other huge titles. I guess you can't afford to release a pretty game and then just be okay at the end of the year.
I mean, it's really scary though, like, because these are
it is.
Nintendo numbers, but it's like if they did multiple titles like Avengers, like I'm sure Avengers was expensive as fuck, like just from licensing, like alone,
voice cast,
like the licensing,
and now they run the risk of never being able to make another game with them because Disney's probably gonna be like, "Oh, you fucked up the first game. Why should we give you another chance?"
And also, just like the post,
and also I'm really glad
has been terrible. Like they've been delayed. I don't think they still put out a DLC.
They're
for that game.
We're still waiting on Spider-Man.
I think it just came out like this month. And Spider-Man probably going to come out like it doesn't even matter anymore. Like Spider-Man is not going to save that game. People got so angry that it was exclusive to PlayStation, and now when Spider-Man comes out in fucking summer 2022 or whatever the hell it's come out, that game, like, I wouldn't be surprised if they just don't put it. I don't know. That game is like the player base dropped so low where I don't even think they would even put them out anymore unless it's coming very soon, because that game is not, even when they start putting out the content that they promised, it's not going to get more players, I think. So it's just not, unless they overhaul something or everything.
I think it's normal just to redo the whole game. I think
throw
it's
it out the
normal
window
when games as a service kind of drop off. Like I think that part is normal. Right? Like when people play a game and they start playing it, and then once they finish it, they kind of go away until, the next big thing. So I do think people were kind of going crazy at the drop off of Marvel's Avengers, but I think that's just because so many people had it in the beginning. Like a lot of people had this game. So then when you have a lot of people that have your game, the drop off is significant. Like if we look at the Animal Crossing numbers in the middle of the pandemic and we look at retention for Animal Crossing, 100% those numbers are very fucking different. Like I'm sure people have not, all their villagers are fucking dead. Like I'm sure people have not picked up that game since like May maybe or June, or since shit started opening up. So the drop off is significant, but I think when you have a lot of people playing, it's understandable. But some people come back to Animal Crossing for updates. Nobody's going back when Spider-Man releases on PlayStation for Avengers, because who even still has Avengers?
Just with
Spider-Man content. It's not even story content. It's just
a playable character.
So you can do the same repetitive missions, but with Spider-Man. There's so exciting. I don't even know if they'll have like voice lines. Like, will he have like that? Like, it's just Spider-Man. Like,
I'm sure he'll have voice lines, but like as far as like they said,
just Spider-Man.
But like, it's just not even worth.
And if that's the case, just go play Miles Morales for Black History Month.
Better game. Or the original Spider-Man.
Way better game.
So, continuing on money, Sony has said that the PlayStation 5 shipped 4.5 million units as of December 31st, 2020. They came out in November, right?
Yeah.
So in like a month, they sold 4.5 million units. There were also 18.4 million first-party games sold across the PS4 and PS5, ending in the quarter of December 31st, 2020. And for reference, the PlayStation 4 shipped 4.5 million units in the same 2013 quarter with its release. The number of active PlayStation Network users across all PlayStation devices has reached 114 million, and the total number of paid PlayStation subscribers is now 47.4 million, which is up from the 38.3 million in the same quarter last year. I personally think that's because the PlayStation Plus selection has just gotten better and better.
Yes.
I think it's just
I think so.
it's crazy because Xbox is pushing Game Pass so much, but Xbox Live games are almost always forgettable. Like, I can't even tell you what came out for Live. Maybe Kellie can if she cares enough.
What? Correct. I mean, on
Live?
Gold?
Yeah, on Gold. Sorry, yeah.
I don't even.
No, right? Like, nobody knows. That's what I'm talking about.
I know it came out on Game Pass, the medium. I mean, I played that.
Yeah.
Kellie's like, I don't care about Xbox. She used to care.
I feel like the live gold games are just never as good as PlayStation Plus because the Xbox has Game Pass too. So like they have two things going on, you know.
Yeah,
I feel like the Game Pass games are more important than like the live gold games that come out.
But then you still get those free games, right? Like you get Game Pass. Even if you have Game Pass, you do get the live games, but they're so forgettable. Like,
and I feel like they're always old. They're like from 2012. Like, oh, we put Hitman 1 and like Final Fantasy 15. I'm like, okay, well, cool.
Yeah, it's like super old, and I think that's why they have this increase, and you know, obviously more people are playing on PlayStation now because more people have access to PlayStations now. Because, actually, that's not true. Let me shut up before Gabe is like, I don't have a PS5.
It's not because I actually
4.5 million sold, and he didn't even get one.
So I'm gonna because I wasn't gonna say this. But you pulled the trigger. So. I think it was last week, there was a report that 10% to 15% of PS5 solds were to scalpers, right? So I heard that number, I was like, that's actually not as much as I thought. Until I heard 4.5 million units of a PS5 were sold. Do you know how many consoles I could have had a chance at getting? 675,000 consoles went to scalpers, and I am stuck with 0. I did do math, and I really hope my mom doesn't get this far into the podcast because my entire life I've been saying I hate math, I don't like doing math in my head, and I did math right now, and she's gonna see this and be like, no more excuses.
I love that when it's about video games, he can do math all of a sudden.
It's ridiculous.
You gotta motivate this one, you know?
I see.
You really do. It's literally, I'm telling you, like, if my colleges if I went to that college that had like the Skyrim degree program, I would have had my doctor by now. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
I got a doctor in Skyrim.
But it's I don't know. Again, I feel like because this is me in a personal tirade. I just wanted to put those numbers out there of how many scalpers robbed some people, aka me, from happiness.
And this is also all to say that demand for the PS5 has still not been met yet. So had there not been a pandemic, you know, had there been a better production line, the PS5 would have definitely sold more units, like 100%. Like,
yeah,
I still know people that are still looking for PS5, so it's crazy.
Yeah, of course you do.
Yes, Gabe. It's crazy to think about what could have been. Like, PlayStation could have been so successful in a month, like in a month period for financial earnings. I think it's great actually that they're just even with the PS4 while still having production issues. It's these numbers though, like what? 4.5 million units worldwide, which includes, you know, that's going to include Europe, that's going to include Japan, and those are all you know, areas that came out after the US, I think, right? They both came out after the US.
1 week after. Yeah.
And then you still can't get like a PS5 because and I hesitate to blame Sony because I mostly blame retailers because they have really bad ways of being able to purchase PS5s and Xboxes. Like, I literally went into the store and they were like, no, COVID, you gotta go home. And then I went home and it was sold out online. Like, literally the time that they were like, go home, order it, and then just come back and pick it up. I was like, okay. Went home, got it in the cart, pressed checkout, gone. And I went back and I was like, hey, bitch, Walmart, you fucking asshole. You told me to go home when I could have just fucking bought it because I was right here. You wouldn't let me, and now I don't have one.
Why don't you just buy it on your phone? Why'd you go home?
Because I went there super early, like once the store opened, so I had to wait until 3 p.m. because it wasn't online available until 3 p.m. and I was there at like 6:30 a.m. or some shit. I'm not gonna wait at Walmart from 6:30 to 3.
Which also for anyone listening, if you're thinking like they were doing that because of COVID protocols, complete bullshit. Because Black Friday was 2 weeks later that month, and they had no problem with people waiting outside their stores to buy stuff. So. As we're gonna blame the retailers. It's just that if you work for a retail store,
what is that
don't
noise?
let me find out.
Yeah, what's that noise?
I think.
Okay, it's gone.
It is stopped.
Yes. Okay.
I think that might have been. Do you guys hear it again?
Yeah.
It came back.
Okay, so I'm not gonna touch that anymore.
How was that?
What is that? It's like something rolling
It's
on
the
the
little-
floor.
No, it's the little screw
It's
for
Gabe
the
playing
mic
with stuff.
stand.
That's Gabe playing with stuff, as usual. Lovely editing for Jerel. So, moving on to Nintendo. Stop it! You
I did
little
that.
asshole. Now I have to. Gosh. Anyway,
Napoleon Dynamite.
Nintendo has posted earnings for a huge holiday quarter, in which the Switch sold more than any console ever. If I'm correct. Yes, 11.57 million consoles compared to the 4 million PS5. 11.57 million.
Insane.
I can't even think of how many Switches that is. And if I remember correctly, that was when there was a Switch outage, right? Like we couldn't buy any during the pandemic. Like there were none available.
Yeah.
So imagine if they were actually like available, that number would be higher. Anyway, this now brings the Switch close to 80 million sold units since its launch in 2017. 80 fucking million. Like, wow. Nintendo has since increased its forecast for the fiscal year ending March 31st to 26.5 million Switch units, also boosting its net profit estimate 33% to 400 billion yen, or about $3.82 billion. The Switch has now outsold the 3DS in terms of lifetime sales, which was crazy because the 3DS was one of those that was also up there.
Yeah, it
with
was.
the older handheld reaching a total of 75.94 million for the 3DS. Only 730,000 3DS games were ever shipped during the last quarter, underlining that the platform really it was dead at that point. And this is over from The Verge, titled Nintendo Raises Switch Sales Forecast After Monster Holiday Quarter. It was also a massive quarter for Nintendo in terms of software sales, with nearly 76 million units sold in software altogether. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Animal Crossing New Horizons both crossed the 30 million mark for the first time. Why are people still buying Mario Kart? I guess it's like one of those classic, like, you have a Nintendo
It's fun, man.
thing, you gotta have Mario Kart.
Because
We
I
had a
got
Wii
the
U.
Switch bundle.
Oh, and it came with it?
With it. So,
Oh, yeah.
so that counts.
That's true.
I think,
That's
because
true.
you download it. So if people got the
Yeah.
bundles, then that counts as like.
So it
Yeah.
doesn't even count.
It's like
not
the Wii.
even
It's like
real.
Wii Sports.
Yeah.
It's like Wii Sports being like one of the highest selling games of all time.
God,
Yeah.
Wii Sports was fucking good though, right?
It was fucking good.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
really
just
good.
a Mario Kart 8 hater because I actually played it on the Wii U.
You're-
So
Yeah.
I am. I played it on the Wii U. I was expecting something better. Because I've been playing the same game for however many years since it came
Like
out.
10
on the Wii
years
U.
almost.
Yeah, like at this point, there's nothing
Almost.
new. I have all the DLC. I had all the DLC in the Wii, era. So when they brought it back, I was like, this is nothing new to me. There's there's no new courses. Like, you have like online play, sure, but I've been playing the same game like Greysun said for 10 years. It's not fun
Yeah,
to
like
me.
I never bought Mario Kart 8 actually on Switch because I had it on Wii U, so like I'm in the same boat as you. But yeah, it's like so many people that bought a Switch. Most of them have never had a Wii U, so it's like a new game to them. Despite so many parents picking that up, thinking it's a new game, like it's just so many. That game just flies off the shelves because it's Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For 3 years old, I'm sure it's fun for y'all. But
I love it.
having that shit for 10 years. I mean,
Yeah, it's-
Brandon's loyal, obviously. Like, he's been playing for 10
I
years.
literally played a tournament last Sunday.
That's what I'm saying.
I streamed that tournament.
He's been playing for 10 years and he's still happy. I am not going to play the same game for 10 years unless it's Final Fantasy VII
It
Remake.
was Double Dash, damn it.
That's what I said. I was like, bring out Double Dash.
Actually,
when you have the Joy-Cons,
I was looking at a YouTube video.
Double
Right?
Joy-Con.
It's in your hands right there, bro. It's in your hands right
for
there.
Double Dash. Like, come on, Nintendo.
And like, I think I brought that up to one of my friends once, and they were like, "Oh, but the controls." I was like, "Dude, on the GameCube, you only needed the accelerate button, the brake, the control stick, the jump, and the throw item." You
And
didn't
also
need all the buttons on the GameCube.
And also, you're talking specifically about using each Joy-Con to control, like, ostensibly, like one car, right? Like the two car, like the mode where, like, people are in one car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you don't need the full controls.
You don't, because the other person's on the back throwing shit.
Yeah.
Like, I
one
want to
person
be on the back while, like, you know... I'm gonna
Jerel
use
loves
Kelly
the
as an
back.
example because I don't want to sound bad. No, because if I said
What?
a dude's name, never mind. I want to
Okay.
be on the
All
back
right.
of Kelly's car while she's driving, and I'm throwing shit at
Hey!
Yeah,
I'm a terrible
exactly.
driver.
Okay, well, you know, I'm a terrible thrower, so
I know.
put us together and it'll be fun. Anyway,
I was actually looking at a
derailed.
video.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, never mind. If you're gonna get back on rail,
I was. So Animal Crossing New Horizons and Mario Kart 8 both crossed the 30 million mark, which is crazy. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and Pokemon Sword and Shield have now sold more than 20 million each, which is really also huge for a Pokemon game. If I'm not mistaken, that makes them the third best-selling behind Red and Blue, which...
And Gold and Silver.
Okay, Red and Blue and Gold and Silver, and then
Third,
Sword and Shield. Which, like...
Yep.
All you motherfuckers who was like, I'm not gonna play because they don't have the stupid...
Yeah, that boycott worked out great, huh?
The whole
Remember that
Pokemon
tree?
buddy and like, oh my, Nintendo, you suck. Like, yeah, fuck y'all. Y'all all played the game just like me, and apparently you all liked it enough to keep buying it and pay for the DLC and all that other bullshit. The biggest Switch title coming in the next quarter is most likely going to be Capcom's Monster Hunter Rise. Who cares?
In the quarter, yeah.
More than 12 million
Who
consoles
cares?
shipped already. I'm sorry, that who cares? As in, that's not a part of what I was saying. With more than 12 million consoles shipped already at this point in the year, this article thinks that 24 million Switches is still a fairly conservative prediction. Because last year's quarter saw Nintendo ship almost 11 million consoles. So, out of those top games, how many have you guys actually played, or how many do you actually own?
All of them.
Every single one.
Wait, what game?
Of
Was it like the...
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Animal Crossing
Okay,
New
that
Horizons.
one. That's it.
Breath of the Wild and Pokemon Sword and Shield. But you just got
Yeah,
your Switch.
all of them.
You just got
Yeah,
your
well, I have games for it. I just don't have those.
Switch. She's like,
I have
don't
Lego
give a
Harry
fuck about
Potter
Nintendo.
and Just Dance 2021
You know
and
what I
Mario
hate
Kart.
about Just Dance?
and
This
3D
is
All Stars.
a little bit of a tangent as well. I hate the fact that Just Dance now has those like in-game ads for like buy this song.
Terrible.
It's so bad. Have you played it yet, Kelly?
No,
Or you just own it?
I
Okay,
played
yeah.
Just Dance on the PS4, but not on the Switch.
They didn't have
No,
the
Jerel, I bought the latest one for Switch during
Mhm,
COVID
me
because
too.
I just wanted some exercise. And the worst songs are there first, and then you have to buy the rest of them. I'm like,
I
I
was
just
like-
bought the game.
Exactly.
Like, you gave me, like, 15
$60
songs.
for this, and then because
like,
I
ads,
Did EA make the game?
oh my god, who
Like,
made the
what the-
game?
Ubisoft.
Okay, thank you.
Ubisoft.
Yes, thank you. That was
Oh.
not Ubisoft.
Yeah.
got it on
Okay,
Switch.
very- yeah, that makes
Actually,
sense.
I was
Like, half the
very-
game is like blocked.
I was very taken aback, honestly. I was like, I just paid $60 for this, and it's like you said, it's like 15 songs, and then in the game while you're selecting like you could see all the songs you can play. It's like, oh yeah, this song's there, but you can't click it
Yeah.
unless you buy their. And I think you have to buy their pass, right? Like you can't even
It's a
buy.
pass,
They have like
individual
they have like a
songs.
subscription kind of thing.
I
Yeah.
was like, why pay $60?
video
Like,
game. Huh?
at that point, it should be a free game, and then you just buy the songs
Yep.
you want. Like, I shouldn't pay $60 and then
Yeah.
not be able to
have
access the
both.
songs there. And then, like Greysun said, there's still ads. So it's like, I paid for ads in Just Dance. Like, why am I watching an ad? I paid $60 for this shit. That's not how ads work. You don't get ads when you pay for stuff. If you go on Twitch and you subscribe, guess what? You don't get ads. But if you buy fucking Just Dance, you
Just
gotta
Dance.
still watch a fucking ad for a game you can't, for a song you can't play because you don't own it. Because, you know, you're not subscribed. It's so bad. Ubisoft, I'm so disappointed in you. I used to love Just Dance. That's some poo-poo.
Just play it on the Wii.
I should.
Just never-
I mean, no, it would
Honestly,
still be the
like,
same though.
Probably the best version.
Just Dance 19 has a Wii version. Just want to make sure everyone knows that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it
the
doesn't
first
have
Just
online
Dance.
because Wii doesn't have online anymore.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway, I just wanted to put a point in Gabe's face that Animal Crossing has crossed the 30 million mark for people that own the game.
And I have
I
have a perfectly reasonable explanation for that. You can say all you want about Animal Crossing beating Breath of the Wild. I'm gonna tell you two things.
I wasn't
And
gonna
one
say
of them is
that.
gonna be, what were you gonna say?
I was just telling you that it sold really well. And people still play it.
Anyway, look, I'm going to tell you exactly why that happened. And this, you guys can say no to this all you want, as much as you want. And I'm telling you right now, it's because of the pandemic. It is 100% because of the pandemic. When we heard Animal Crossing was coming out, all the fans were like, oh my gosh, Animal Crossing. And, of course, they started sharing it. It got everywhere. You're sitting at home, bored. You can't go to work. You can't go out with your friends. You can't go out drinking. And you see your friend retweet something about a talking... He's not a raccoon. What is he?
Tanuki.
Tanuki. A talking Tanuki. And you see this dog that everyone apparently loves for no apparent reason. Because, let's be honest, she doesn't really do much in the game besides talk to you. And everyone's like, cool. Oh my god. And then also, let's not mention that a very, very adorable console version of Animal Crossing came out at the same time that obviously bought the game. That's the only reason. If this game had released any other year where we weren't struggling with the pandemic and we weren't struggling with a government that doesn't know how to care a shit, that game would not have crossed 30 million so quick. And you can say no as much as you want. I see the nose. I see the head shaking.
No, here's
I
the
will
thing.
stand by this.
I agree.
When I die,
I don't disagree with the. I actually don't disagree. I think it still would have sold very well because Animal Crossing always does well. A 30 million is 100%. Yeah, you're right. 30 million is because pandemic. Yeah,
but if you're thinking that it wouldn't have, if you're thinking that Breath of the Wild would have outsold it, I think that Animal Crossing is more of a good because that'd be wrong. So don't.
It's more of a what? Wait, it's more of a what?
It's more of like a casual game, whereas Breath of the Wild, like you have to want to play a Zelda puzzle hard game. Whereas like Animal Crossing is like chill.
And that's what Gabe was saying too, because it is such a casual game, anyone can play it. Just like non-gamers bought this game. Non-gamers bought Switches to play this game. So
the first time.
Which is what I was gonna say. Mm-hmm.
I was I have a cousin who's like my age who bought a Switch to play Animal Crossing. Now she's playing like Luigi's Mansion and Mario Odyssey and stuff. So it's like tons of people are in that same boat.
Animal Crossing has also long since Wild World for the DS, I would say, been a gateway game to get other people that don't normally play games.
I would go earlier than the DS.
Well, the game.
I think New Leaf on the 3DS sold like 14 million copies.
That too. New Leaf was before New Horizons. New Leaf was the one that brought people in. But Wild World helps sell DSs. Like I have a cousin that never played a game in her life, but that bought Wild World and like a few of the DS games afterwards.
You guys are so funny.
Sorry, Jerel. I interrupted you.
No, it's fine because I love that.
And we all interrupted Gabe, so I'm sorry.
I mean, that's okay because one day I'm gonna get mine. And
it wasn't me this time.
I agreed with you. What are you talking about?
No, I know.
It wasn't me this time. I'm just saying it wasn't.
You brought it up. Of course, it was you.
No, it wasn't.
I can go into your mind and see the little cog clicking and working, and he's like, "I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna piss Gabe off. Watch."
No, I would actually agree with you. I don't think anyone here disagrees with you. I think we all know for sure that Animal Crossing
30 million is because of Animal Crossing.
100% because of
without pandemic, it would have been like 10, 15. That's my prediction.
Yeah, no, I
probably would have done 20 million.
Like 7. Yeah, I would the 20 area.
20's
more than
because again, a lot of it was people putting it on their socials and stuff and being so. I didn't even fucking know Animal Crossing was announced until like 3 weeks before it came out. And it was because one of my friends retweeted it and they were like, "Oh, Animal Crossing!" I'm like, "Yeah, I know that game."
Gabe, how is that possible? Did you not watch the Isabelle Smash trailer? Because they literally linked us the reveal after Isabelle got announced. Wow. All right.
As soon as I saw it was an Animal Crossing character, I turned it off.
Oh my.
Okay.
I don't. It wasn't. I'm sorry, but like I saw Animal Crossing, I was like, I'm already tired of the villager in the game because in the Wii U Smash game, your villager was a pain in my ass, so I didn't want to see anything of Animal Crossing. I was going
covering
to say something else
his
too, and
ears
it
for the
completely
slander.
slipped my mind.
I don't.
She'll hear it.
No, she won't. I'm covering it very tightly.
But what was your point, Gabe? What were you gonna say about Breath of the Wild and Animal Crossing? Now I have.
Well,
to know.
I originally thought that Jerel was gonna be like, "Oh, Animal Crossing outsold Breath of the Wild," and I was gonna be like, "I have
I mean,
a
it
perfectly
did.
reasonable logical." I mean, I know it did. I'm very well it did. But let me also reiterate that Breath of the Wild saw increases in sale this past year again because of the pandemic. But with that logic, should have been one of the Game of Year awards. Anyway,
Oh my god, here we go.
I'm always gonna bring that up. I'm always gonna bring. Oh, so
now I regret
this
asking.
because this thing, Greyson, that we did, because we had a little problem with Among Us being one of the games that was eligible for nomination,
Yeah.
and and one of the reasons was it had to do with an increase in popularity again.
Yeah,
And I'm like, well, with that logic, Breath of the Wild should be up there for something. It's a running joke. I don't actually need
if
it.
it already won, just
a whole
let it
I
go.
mean, yeah, it already got its award.
Yeah.
It won Game of the
Something
Year.
else I was gonna say.
Wait, what?
Did it?
What?
At the time.
No, Odyssey didn't it, that year?
2017 was
No,
100% Breath of the Wild. Yeah, it was Breath of the
Yeah,
Wild.
Yeah, you're right. Odyssey was one of the
Some
runnings.
respect on my
Yeah.
short.
Nintendo was like competing with herself.
That
Yeah.
must be nice.
Yeah, imagine being so good
We're
at
so
games
good
that you
and
compete with
so
yourself.
rich.
Like, which game will win? It doesn't matter because we're Nintendo.
And the worst part about that is, you know, they have so much money. Like, now, I 100% expect that things need to get better. Like, there's no reason
Online?
yes, online. I'm going back to that bullshit. Like, there's no reason that online should be as bad as it is when y'all made this much fucking money. Like, this is
Animal Crossing sold more than like everything. Like,
everything ever. And
With the money
I think Red
alone,
Dead-
with Animal
I think
Crossing
Red Dead-
alone,
Huh?
I was
Sorry.
gonna say, with the money that Animal Crossing made alone, they could have fixed their online by now.
yeah, I don't know.
Red Dead 2 sold like 29 million copies or something like that. Which is crazy.
Animal Crossing sold more.
Like Animal Crossing.
But
did that.
also,
Like-
Animal Crossing is really just accessible, and I think that's what I was going to bring up. Like, it's a really
Yes.
accessible game. Like,
Right.
I have friends who literally, like Brandon said, went out and bought a Switch just to join the Animal Crossing phase. Like, it's very simple to just wake up, you know, in Animal Crossing, do your daily chores, talk to your villagers, visit a friend's island. It's really not on the same level as, like, you don't have to get in the same headspace to play something like Breath of the Wild or some of the scary shit that Kellie plays or some of the the RPGs that Brandon will play, like anything online that Gabe decides to play. Like, none of that is on the same level, right? Like, I can literally turn on the
Why
Switch
am I
right
the
now
online player?
because every time I want to play something, you're playing with somebody else. So
I'm not even gonna talk about that one.
yeah, it's
Yeah, me.
it's really easy. Like, anyone can pick up and play Animal Crossing, and because of the accessibility, and I talk shit about Mario Kart, but it's another one that's really easy to play, right? Like,
Yeah.
my nephew was just playing it. I don't play it, but my nephew was just playing it. He's 3 years old. You just turn on the auto accelerate and the thing that keeps you in the track, which I can't think of.
Auto acceleration, auto steer, auto accelerate. You can activate
auto
one
steer,
This
little
is
auto
a
accelerate.
horrible feature.
No, it's a great feature. Just, I literally gave my nephew, the 3-year-old, the Switch, and I was like, go. And he, like, for hours was just like, and it would just put him back on course. And it's those things that make games like Mario Kart and Animal Crossing so successful, I think, because once
Yeah.
you can reach a higher audience that has the ability to play a Switch, and, you know, it's handheld, so you don't have to really worry about, you know, the kids hogging the TV. And this was a point that I made about Balan Wonderland. Everybody was talking mad shit about it. I was talking mad shit about it. I played the demo and I was like, oh my god, this game is perfect. It has like one button. Like, and I know a lot of people think that one button is bad, but for me, in the situation that I'm in with the kids here and stuff, I was like, oh my god, like, yes, every game should have like 1 or 2 buttons. A lot of games now, I think, put too much shit in their game. Like, I
can agree with that.
I
can agree
don't
with
like
that.
collectibles anymore. I don't want to collect 100 of the same shit. Y'all stop it. Like, I have, you know, a limited amount of time to play. The Last of Us 2. if I had to collect more shit, I was gonna. One of the reasons that I have more time in The Last of Us 2 is one, because I was scared as fuck. So it did take me longer. I would literally just sit there being scared until I move forward. But also because it was like, oh my god, like there's more shit to collect. I have to explore more. I gotta do more shit. I just wanted that game to be done. And then when it wasn't done, and I thought it was gonna be done, I was annoyed. And then I had to go back because then once again I thought it was done, and it still wasn't fucking done. And I was like, oh my god, end your game.
The game has like three different endings.
End your game. Stop making me do all this shit. And you know what Battle in Wonderland does? It's like, hey, you guys are out. It's 2 fucking buttons, bro. All you gotta do is jump and hit. Like, and I was like, thank you. This shit is so easy. And it's beautiful, and it's simple, and it's like Animal Crossing. It's beautiful, it's simple, anybody can play it. It has issues, yes, but it sold 30 million copies.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, it has issues, but it sold 30 million copies. So who gives a fuck about its issues? Not Nintendo. Give more updates. Throw more shit. They're doing that. And I want to talk about this also really quick with you guys. They're doing that. Hello Kitty Hello Kitty collaboration.
There are dying over there.
Sorry, where you can buy the Hello Kitty cards exclusively from Target for $6. You get 6 character cards. They come with a little set. We don't know yet if they're going to come with the characters in the sets, but we do know that you should be able to get the Hello Kitty sets, like the bed sets and all the accessories and stuff in it. If Animal Crossing releases those cards for $6, but you can't get the characters, do you guys think that that's fair?
No.
If you're just paying $6 to buy furniture items for Animal Crossing? Exclusive furniture items.
$6 for...
Because you get... In the pack, you get 6 cards, and each card has a character, and each character has their own set of, like, things that they bring to the game.
You know what character you're getting, though, right?
Yes,
it's
you
not
can
like,
literally
it's not like
see
random.
It's
not
the
like
character
okay.
on
okay.
It's the character on the card. Like, you're getting...
So it's not
I
like...
still say no, but yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of like the old booster packs they were doing with the amiibo cards.
Yeah, it's like the amiibo cards you have now, except for instead of getting the character, you would just get the stuff that the character has. So far,
sure,
but you might get the character as well. I don't know.
I can't. I don't know. I mean, there's some people who like would totally get it. I can't even say I wouldn't, because if there's some like really nice furniture in those cards, hell, I might do it.
I would 100% pay $6 to get Hello Kitty as a villager. 100%.
Same.
I paid $12. Give me her.
I've seen like 2 Hello Kitty media, but I would still do it.
I would. Oh, she's so adorable. Please, Nintendo.
I remember, what was it, years ago, for Splatoon 2, they had that Splatfest as like the Ninja Turtles in America, but then it was in Japan, where it was like Hello Kitty versus, I think, My Melody or something like that, and you and Christy were like crying.
I was
mad.
Like,
and I was like, yeah, Ninja Turtles!
The fuck Ninja Turtles? Give me Hello Kitty, what the fuck?
Yeah, me and Zach were like Team Ninja Turtles, like, yeah, this shit's great, and you and Christy were just like, no.
Like, fucking give me Hello Kitty everything.
Well, Hello Kitty would fit right in an animal.
Yeah, I can imagine her as a
like, perfect.
It would. Hello Kitty's literally an animal village.
He is Animal Crossing.
Everyone in Hello Kitty's like friend circle could be in.
Yes.
Like,
they're tiny, they're short, they have big heads. Like,
yeah, it's perfect.
They're all weird animals. It works. And then when the Game Awards comes back, it'll be popular again because everybody's playing Hello Kitty. And then now, instead of being Game of the Year for Zelda again, it's going to be Game of the Year for Animal Crossing again because it was shafted.
I will literally stop playing video games for the rest of my life if that ever happened. I 100%. I would never touch. I would sell my PS4. I'd sell my PC. I'll sell my Switch.
I'll sell
everything that's game related. I will get rid of all my Zelda stuff. All my what else? Game stuff. I literally only have Zelda game stuff. I'll get rid of all that, and I will never touch a video game in my life. Never. If that ever happens.
Cool, I'll drive right over there and buy all your stuff.
You don't even have to. I'll do the pleasure of driving the 12 hours.
Road trip.
12 to 16 hours.
What?
Road trip to Gabe's house. We'll buy all his shit.
Ain't nobody going.
I'm not buying it. I'm giving it away.
Nobody's going to Gabe's house. Just ship it.
Okay, free shit. That's better.
Yes, like ship that shit.
First of all, the scenery to my place is very beautiful, mind you. Secondly, I could take you guys out to some delicious food spots. So
it's the least you can do is taking all this shit.
But you is invited now, Jerel, just because you said that.
He's like willing to give us all of his free stuff just so we'll hang out with him.
I just wanted him to ship it here, so I
okay, let's go to your place and you give me free shit, man.
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Brandon.
I'm gonna show up anyway. You can't stop me.
You
Anyway, because that was weird. Did anybody want to mention anything about Nintendo's crazy amount of money that they made?
Yeah, give me some.
Honestly, I'm not even surprised.
No, neither am I.
Like, now knowing a couple of games now have recouped what they spent on making games in, like, a weekend or, like, a day now.
Cyberpunk 2077. Same day
Cyberpunk
release.
and the Medium in the
Mhm.
weekend that it came out, which it was on Game Pass. I didn't even pay for it, but I guess Xbox pays them per
Yeah.
download. I don't know how they
Mhm.
get paid, but, like, they made their cost back in a weekend.
I think Hitman 3 also.
Yeah.
As
So, I mean,
remember.
that's not even surprising to hear that Nintendo is, like, making so much, because if you can recoup, like, they probably recouped what they made on Animal Crossing in, like, a day.
Oh, for sure.
Or
Before
like
it
a
even came
shit,
out,
you know?
pre-orders or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they did it on pre-orders alone.
It's,
Like, it's crazy.
It's a simple little game, you know. It's not
Yeah.
like, not that
Yeah.
expensive. I'm sure to like create.
I also think it's really interesting that Nintendo's really, doing this on games that already have fans, that already have established groups. Like, everybody knows Mario Kart.
They know their
Um,
bread and butter.
Yeah, like you already have a group that was going to buy Animal Crossing as soon as it was announced for Switch, because we haven't had one since, forever. New Leaf on 3DS, which was fucking years ago.
Yeah.
So you already know that people are going to buy this, right? Like you tease it with Isabelle and Smash. You already know what's going to happen. Whereas something like The Medium and Cyberpunk are two brand new IPs that are just like, I think it's really cool that the brand new stuff is able to make back, recoup its development costs. Like, it's crazy because I think a lot of other companies outside of Nintendo have to or should start doing new IPs to be able to do that, because when you're just rehashing the same... Well, never mind. I take that all back, because apparently Capcom is doing really well with their Resident Evil bullshit. They just keep giving you the same games remade over and over again, and it's working really well. And
Yeah, this time we got big mommy vampire girl.
yeah, but that's a
Say
new
something
one.
else.
That's a new one, though. Resident Evil 8 is going to be new, but you had the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes, which also made a decent amount of money. Now you have Monster Hunter Rise, which nobody can tell me is not an expansion to Monster Hunter World. I don't care what y'all say. I played it. It is,
What?
to me, I'm sorry.
Huh?
It is literally just an expansion to Monster Hunter World. It is literally quality of life improvements to Monster Hunter with new shit added and a new story. It is an expansion.
That's
It's
like
Destiny.
that's what every new Monster Hunter game is technically.
Yeah.
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 Isn't that what any new game
You're
is?
kind of right. It is very similar
It
to
does the
World.
same
You're
things.
not wrong.
Like, I thought it was a new game. And I was like, this is legit
What
the
is
same
a
game
new
with
game?
new classes.
It's like Monster Hunter 4 to World. It's like, well, that's a big difference. But World is such a big jump for the series. That now this is like the
Yeah.
continuation of World, because World is so
Yeah.
successful. So now they want to continue to build upon that. And I think this is like their first step in kind of playing around with like new things. But yeah, you're not wrong. It is very similar.
Well, I don't know, because
But
I haven't played
it's new.
Monster Hunter. World was my first one. So when I played this one,
Yeah.
I was like, well, this is the
Same.
same shit. Why am I going to pay $60 for
Well-
new classes?
Well, I think that's the thing though, because Monster Hunter World didn't come out for Switch. It came out for everything but Switch. So it's like,
I know. and
maybe-
people
maybe
wanna
it was
get
one of
back
those
to
thought
its
processes of like,
Monster
like,
Hunter
oh,
roots.
yeah,
It's like a way to bring
Yeah, that's
World
probably-
to Switch without bringing the
Yeah.
actual game, because it's like that game's way too
Yeah.
pretty to bring to Switch. So
That's another thing. Stop giving me ugly Switch games. All that money y'all got. Make pretty Switch
But
games.
but see, that's something else though. This goes to show that no matter how many problems we end up having with Nintendo, whether it be their online, whether it be their graphics, it's their fan base doesn't die, and it just
Because
grows.
people, and I continue to say this, people
Yeah.
let Nintendo get away with every fucking thing because they're Nintendo, which, I mean, is fine.
Yeah.
Because people love Nintendo. Look, Kelly bought a whole
Yeah.
ass Switch so she could go play Mario that she played 30 years ago.
30? Excuse me.
Wow.
Mario's
Wow.
card has not been around 30 years ago.
No, what is that?
No,
He's talking about
so-
the Mario,
All-Stars,
the 3D
All-Stars.
All-Stars.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's not even 30.
Uh,
What the fuck?
Isn't it
Well,
the 35th anniversary?
Like 20.
No,
35th
It's
anniversary
the
of Super
anniversary
Mario
of
Bros.
Mario,
Not of
but
the 3D.
Yeah.
Okay,
Not
well,
of
came
Nintendo
out.
64.
All
Woo.
of you just yelled at me at the
Look,
same time.
Jerel's
I didn't hear
being
anything y'all
salty
said.
again because he missed out on nostalgia. He didn't play these games when
I
he was
did it.
younger. And there he goes being salty again
And
because
Kelly
it's not
bought
the
a
Jerel
whole
way,
ass
it's the
Switch
wrong way.
to go play some
I-
Nintendo 64 game.
Well, I I had been looking for a Switch. I wanted one for a while, and then I saw one for sale, and they had been out for so long that I just bought it. I panic bought it on Amazon. I was like, "There's a Switch there! I'm buying it!" And I panicked and
And
I
the first
got
thing
it.
you did was bought that Nintendo 64 game. Actually, no.
My boyfriend bought that for
But
me.
you wanted
he surprised me, but I wanted it. He was like, "This is all you talked about for weeks."
That's what I'm
And
saying.
then I haven't even
It's
played
three
it.
games. It's three
It's
games
three
for
games in one.
$60. I don't think it's too bad.
I'm
I
not
think
saying
And
it
they're
Yeah,
remastered.
two of which are very graphically pretty.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
the cost is bad. I'm just saying Nintendo
camera
has y'all by
angles
the
in
balls
64
with
are
their
just-
they're
Yeah.
really
They
bad.
know we'll pay anything for old games.
And
on
for some
Switch.
reason,
Like-
y'all just keep doing that shit, and they'll make it look like
Well,
Yeah, I
There's
was
a
going to get
game.
when there was a Zelda collection.
You see?
Realistically,
and I'm doing it
I don't-
again.
When they released that Zelda collection,
Yup.
There are games that are classics.
I
Like,
know-
you're talking
I
about
wouldn't
the
buy it, but-
remaking Resident Evil, like the first ones. Like those games were like so good that people want to like live that again. People want to see that with updated graphics. I mean, like Jerel, you love 7. Shut up.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I think remakes are great. Like, I think being able to experience something you didn't experience before is
Yeah.
fucking awesome. Like, 100%. I'm just saying Nintendo got y'all by the balls with nostalgia. Final Fantasy has my
Look, man,
my whole
I know-
balls. Like, they can. I
Right,
I don't
finally.
have balls.
in your defense though, you know, the 7 and the 7 remake are actually, you know, that's an actual
Yeah.
remake. So that's
Yeah.
that's in your defense.
Definitely a remake.
Whereas,
Yeah.
like,
These are updated
Yeah.
ports.
I saw
Yeah,
Brandon
Nintendo doesn't
But,
streaming.
really-
yeah, but
I saw Brandon streaming, and I was like, "Can you change the camera?" And he was like, "The camera angles are tricky," and I was like, "Well, this looks bad."
They're really
Sunshine in
It's
64
so
had
though.
some rough camera angles. I ain't gonna lie.
This is not
Galaxy was great.
64. Like it makes it almost impossible to play. Like
Yeah.
I think
they
I
fixed
rage
it though.
quit.
They've
like,
updated it.
Yeah.
You know,
Galaxy
Yeah,
is the
but
best.
When
part of
that Legend of Zelda 35th anniversary comes out this year, I'm gonna buy it knowing damn well I'm gonna be playing Ocarina of Time with the same pointy ass graphics I played on the N64. I don't give a damn because it's a good game. It feels good to play, and Link is just one of my favorite characters in the world, and I gotta give him money.
I really hope that your nostalgia does.
Give me your rupees.
That the game holds up to your nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because it would really suck.
No, trust me, it will, because I've actually downloaded an emulator on my PC and played the original 64 version, and it's like I'm playing it all over again, so I know it's gonna hold.
Yeah,
I
but
played Ocarina of Time like two years ago. I know that's gonna hold up.
why y'all playing all these old ass games? Y'all must really like this. Like, I don't.
Because I didn't, because my 3DS wasn't charged.
nostalgia has power.
I'm just out here
Well,
trying to
no, but
finish.
also
my
my
And
3DS
also,
was
good
in
games are
charge.
good. Like what?
My 3DS wasn't charged, so I couldn't play the 3DS version of Ocarina of Time. So I was like, I don't want to wait for it to charge, so I'm just gonna go ahead and download an emulator.
I'm literally just out here trying to finish new games, and y'all are just like.
I
playing
played my
this-
3DS so much last year for some reason.
Stop it.
I can't.
I tried playing Nintendo's on my
played it for like
3DS
5 minutes,
again.
and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Man. It hurts.
It's so dark. The screen's like so dark. I can't
It's-
see
yeah.
anything.
I tried Bravely Default, and I was like, "There is no way I'm playing this shit. Like, it looks great, but no. Like, I have a Switch now. I have upgraded. I will
Like-
never regress.
I'm
Like, I
bougie
can't.
now.
I'm 100% bougie. I can't go play. I can't. Last thing, actually, a tweet says, there's an article here, and there's a tweet for it that says, Hideki Yasuda, the senior analyst at Ace Research Institute Inc., said that Nintendo has practically eradicated PlayStation from the Japanese market. In fact, a certain chart shows that 99% of TV game sales of 2021 in Japan is just Switch. And it says the presence of the Switch in Japan is particularly overwhelming. In the weekly sales ranking publishing by Famitsu, most of the top titles are Switch games, and Nintendo has practically eradicated PlayStation. It is unfortunate, but as I pointed out before, the decline of the PlayStation brand in Japan has become a well-known fact. And then there's this wonderful, for anyone who can see me, there's a wonderful
Oh my God.
graph of the 99% Switch and the 1% PlayStation sales for 2021. So, I mean, numbers don't lie. When you have 4.5 million PlayStation sold, that's including Japan, and then you have, how many did I say? 13 million? 20? I don't even remember how
30.
many. 30, thank
Something.
you. 30 million Switches. Like, of course it's eradicating the PlayStation 5. Like, bruh, I mean, PlayStation in general. Like,
It's
of
just
course
4.
it is.
Yeah, PS4 specifically, and that chart.
But I think that's what makes it so much more impressive. It's, it's a console that's out and available for other people. It's not like it's competing with the PS5. So I think, but again, I think that
Well, I
all
think
plays
it's
into the Switch being the console. It's
I
like,
think it's like PS4 sales too, right?
Yeah, it's a PS4
Yeah.
sales,
Yes.
which is like,
It's just like PlayStation in general. Oh,
no. This is PS4 sales, specifically.
oh
So,
PS4.
oh, I mean,
yeah. Which I
Well,
think
they
that makes
had a
sense.
new console coming out. Why would they sell?
Yeah,
But
I mean,
that makes it.
kind of sense.
Go ahead.
Does it make it worse though? Like, because like again, like you're comparing it to a console that's most people got their PS4s more than 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like they're making any new sales over there.
Yeah.
And and again, I mean, you could also contribute to the fact that the Switch came out and Nintendo finally allowed their third party games onto it. So like I don't have to get a PS4 anymore to play The Witcher, to play Dark Souls. I guess you can look at that, but again, it's kind of comparing like it to an old console that's been out for a very long time by now.
Did y'all see that video of when that like one store that had PS5s in Japan and they were just all on top of each other and it was just really bad?
Yeah.
Like
No, I didn't see that.
I will send that to you after the podcast. Like
it's brutal.
They were like fighting for PS5s that ended up having to close the store in Japan.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, oh, this is another example of retailers doing a really bad job at being able to sell consoles. Like, why did y'all do this? Anyway, we talked a long time, so to round
Wait,
out...
hang on. I got thoughts about this
I'm
too.
sorry. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. No. So like, obviously, again, this is comparing like PS4 sales in one region to Switch sales in that same region. But honestly, I think it has a lot to do with the way the sales are of like how consoles sell in Japan in particular. Because like, to be perfectly clear, handheld systems in Japan always kill it. And that's just because of like Japanese lifestyle. There's a lot of commuting that goes along. Like we talked about this in podcast before, how these ugly ass Switch ports of games like The Witcher will still sell in Japan just because you can play them handhelds. Because now it gives people that can only really play in a handheld lifestyle to play the games, even if it's not the best version of it. So for a system like the PS4, that's only a home console that, you can't take it anywhere the same way a Switch can. Like the fact that the Switch is both a home and a handheld console was kind of the final nail in the coffin for like the PlayStation. Obviously, it's still going to do well, and the PS5 is still going to do well once they, get units of it. And, big third-party games in Japan, like the Final Fantasy series, when 16 comes out, that's going to sell some PS5s everywhere. But it's still not going to, like, really touch the Switch because, like, when you think about, like, when you think about, like, these really realistic games, a lot of them come from Western developers. You got these realistic-ass games like Call of Duty, made by Activision. You got your Ubisoft games. Those are all, like, third-party Western games, whereas Japan mostly puts out like more like stylized games. I guess you could say Final Fantasy is kind of like your exception in that instance, but those take forever to come out. Let's be real. So like they aren't like as high burden for like Nintendo. So Switch, you don't need to have like a really powerful system like the PS4, PS5 to make a game that looks pretty. Like the game can just have like a really good art style, and that's all you need.
Okay, fine. I agree.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying about that. Yeah, but so the Switch in that case will just fulfill that niche. They can just do it, and I think it's just going to continue that way. Even Dragon Quest 11, like we talked, Gabe's really talked earlier about how crazy Dragon Quest does in Japan. Even Dragon Quest 11 didn't do as hot on PS4 compared to its 3DS port, which only came out in Japan because that's a handheld system, and also because they knew a Switch port was coming. And guess what? That Switch port of Dragon Quest 11 when it came out in Japan did huge. It did huge because that's the one that everyone was waiting for. So, like, I think that's just going to continue. The PS5 is a damn powerful console. It's going to do well in Japan, but the Switch, I think, is just going to continue going higher and higher and higher just because it's both.
The PS5 is currently on track to be the worst-selling PlayStation in Japan currently.
I believe that, and
more fucking units.
More units will change. Units will change the conversation, but I don't know how much it's going to change the conversation.
One of the things that I know for sure. I was reading this article about it, but one of the things I remember specifically is when PlayStation announced that they were switching the confirmation buttons from, how in Japan it's the circle for confirm and
that too.
PlayStation was just like, fuck Japan, it's now gonna be X for everything. So they kind of were just like, who gives a shit about like our Japanese audience? Then they moved over to California, and apparently, according to this article over at where is this from? CBR.com. They're talking about how the They switched the command buttons, which I said. They were talking about how there was no Japanese narration for the reveal video. They've had subtitle issues. They're talking about censorship issues when games come from Japan over to the US, specifically on PlayStation. So, according to this article, Japanese players are not very happy with PlayStation, and so this is and having said that, I mean, PS5 is still selling over there crazy. Like, if you can get your hands on one, it's still going to be a console that people pick up. But I mean, I see why. Like, having read this, I understand why. Like, you switch my fucking confirm button, you asshole. Like, why? What's the point? What was the point of switching the confirm button like that? Like, you have infrastructure in your system that can easily switch those over, right? Like, just why? I guess if you don't want it region locked, you should still have the option to be able to switch them based on the region that you're in. So I see PlayStation just doing some unnecessary shit. But you know, Final Fantasy's gonna come out. People are gonna buy more. Either way, nobody over there is buying an Xbox.
Yeah, Xbox not even a Japanese conversation.
It's not even in that pie chart. It's like not.
No, it's not.
It doesn't exist. So
it doesn't exist.
Whoopsie too.
Oh man,
it does not exist.
Now, to end this, I said that I was going to ask you guys questions at the end of every podcast because I have fun doing this. Greysun, you get to be answering questions too because we're about to end this lovely podcast. But before I do, I want to say thank yous personally to Greysun for coming on and chatting with us today.
You're the man, Gray.
Really, it's been a wonderful time. I got to have you back. We're going to talk about more video game shit. So thank you. And of course, thank you to my lovely HPCritical podcast crew, Kellie, Gabe, and Brando. It's been a great time with you guys for 55 episodes. I know we haven't all been on the 55 episodes, but 55, I think this is. I don't know. Did I say 53?
It's 53.
I'm wrong. It's 53. Well, just come back to episode 55 so I can say it again. Listen again to episode 55 and I'll just say it again. Anyway, I got some video game trivia for you guys this time. Okay.
Oh yes, okay. Trivia. Oh, I'm good.
It's gonna be Nintendo centric because I know you all love.
Well, then I win. Let's go.
It's like trash.
Pass me the dub right now. Let's
all
go.
right, no. This is gonna be easy. Kellie, first question is for you. Okay.
Okay.
Mario first appeared in what video game?
Super Mario Brothers.
Final answer?
I don't know.
All right. No, it was Donkey Kong. But don't worry, I didn't know that either.
I don't know.
All right, Gabe. Next question. In Minecraft, what typically results?
I'm sorry. What?
Come on.
It's
Nintendo. Nintendo. Minecraft is Microsoft.
Hey. Question. Who just joined Smash Bros?
Fuck Steve. That's not a Nintendo question.
I asked you.
The character is Steve, Alex, Zombie, and Enderman.
Good job.
There you
Good
go.
job.
See,
I'm proud of
you
you.
didn't even let me finish.
You can ask me a Zelda question.
You didn't even let me finish.
I have a Triforce of the Master Sword. I have the Master Sword back there, and this man says Minecraft. I guess I got the answer right.
All right.
That's what
Now this one is between Brandon or Greysun because I didn't know the answer to this, and I don't know if you guys know. If you do, you're fucking crazy.
Cool.
Who is the
You just might be crazy now.
You might be. Who is the Nintendo character Mario's namesake?
Mario character's namesake?
Yeah. Like, who is Mario named after?
So, I don't think that was actually confirmed 100%, but supposedly Mario was named after the landlord of, like, the building that Nintendo was, like, staying in for a second.
Oh, yeah.
Well, how the fuck do you know that? Like,
I know too much shit on Nintendo.
Why do you even, like, know
Wasn't that Kirby or was that someone else?
No, Kirby was a lawyer that helped Nintendo, like when...
Okay, that's what I was thinking of.
When Nintendo made Donkey Kong, like, Universal or some shit, like, got on them for saying, hey, that's like King Kong. We're gonna sue you! And then Kirby was the lawyer that got them off. So they named Kirby after that lawyer.
That's what I thought. I get those confused between Mario and Kirby.
Know this stuff? That's crazy. I appreciate
Mario
that you
was
know
American.
the answer to that. Like,
well, the Kirby thing, I think, was on, like, that High Score documentary, which is how I learned that detail. I don't know where I learned the Mario shit.
Alright, this is for anybody. What year was the SNES released?
SNES?
Yep.
I got the answer. Wait, Japan or America, actually?
I don't know. Both. Either. Gimme.
Cool. Does anyone else know? Because I know both answers.
I'm thinking 87 for Japan. Is that right?
Wait, not the SNES.
November 21st, 1990.
No, maybe.
He looked it up.
Did you look it up?
I did. Yeah, I did.
That was a Japanese date.
Cheating. That's a Japanese date, yes. All right, so in America.
Wait, do you want the exact day? Because I don't know the exact day. I just know the year and this
just the
came
year?
out.
Just the year.
Okay, 91 for the US.
Damn,
Okay.
Brandon. Okay, all right. I'm gonna give you a different one. This is not Nintendo related because you're just cheating at this point. What?
There's no fun. I'm just.
I think this is still valid. What is the highest selling game console to date? This one's easy.
Oh, I know that one.
PlayStation 2.
There you go.
Yes.
See, that was
Yeah,
easy.
that's easy. Yeah, I knew that.
And I got one for Kelly now.
Oh, go get her.
All
get
right,
her.
Blizzard Entertainment is most well known
Better.
for what video game franchise?
It gotta
Okay.
be World of Warcraft.
There you go. See, that was easy. I have one more.
I haven't played WoW.
I was
Okay,
like,
anyways.
when I went to your stream, I was like, oh, is she playing? This is not, wow, what is this? And then it looked scary, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And then you got scared, and I was like, yep, this is some scary shit. That's Kelly for you. Last question. What food was the character Pac-Man modeled after?
I know the answer to this as well. Does anyone else know?
I
Wait,
almost
wait,
say
wait.
Scott Pilgrim line. Oh my
That-
god.
was
I know!
thinking
Paku Paku!
That's the
Yeah,
answer.
I was
Right.
thinking, yeah, 'cause it translates to fuck man.
Puckman, yeah.
Oh, a hockey
Okay,
puck.
We get that's the noise it makes, right, when its mouth is.
Waka Waka. Yeah. So the answer to that is that there was like these two guys in a pizza parlor. They took a slice off and like, yeah, that's our character. It's literally based on a pizza. With a
yeah.
slice off.
All right,
Wow.
Brandon. One more question.
That was in
I
the
don't like
documentary
that
too,
you know
right?
all the answers.
That was also in High Score, yes. And I didn't know that until I watched High Score.
Okay.
I always assumed pizza, but
I
anyway,
need to
go on.
finish that.
What's the most expensive
I would've
video
assumed
game
lemon.
made to date? This actually might be old. I don't know if this is correct, but
Damn.
what's the most expensive video game made to date? Actually, let me
How most
Actual
expensive
cost.
made or well, hold on, like, most expensive made or most expensive to buy?
made.
Made, okay.
The
Oh,
team
that's,
came out already, right?
Yes.
ooh, that's actually a good one. I gotta think
Never mind.
about that one for a
Never
second. Most expensive game made. Ah,
I
shoot.
feel
I
like
want
it's
to
gonna be an old one.
wait. I think I know. Was it Grand Theft Auto 5?
Bro, what the fuck?
Okay, yes, sir.
Makes sense.
How do you
Yeah, that
know
makes sense.
these
That's good.
things?
That's a good. That's a good.
All right. I got one more. What Pokemon am I thinking of right now?
Charizard.
Pikachu.
That's Gabe.
What?
You
No, he's a-
are thinking of Lilligant.
Wrong. Oh my god, but that was so close. That was so
Okay.
close, actually.
Which
I was
one-
really
which one was
mad
it? I
at
gotta
you. I was
know.
actually thinking about Butterfree.
Butterfree?
Yeah.
Okay, I had no chance, man. That's not one of your rotation ones.
I know. I had to. I was really mad that you were just getting them all right. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's not fun trivia if you know all the answers already. Jeez.
I feel like we should all throw one question at Brandon now.
Right? Oh my god, do it before we end. Everybody, ask Brandon.
Yeah, I got one.
I got him.
In
Yeah.
Majora's Mask, in one of the walls that you can find a
knows
bunch
this.
of notes that you can play on the ocarina for. No, watch
Oh.
this. That you can play. This is actually a little known fact. You can play on the wall. You can find a bunch of notes that you can play on your ocarina for some rupees. What's one of the songs that you can play that's appeared in one of the previous games?
You can totally play the Sun Song as one of the songs in the wall.
I didn't know that. That's not the song I was thinking about.
Like,
Bruh. I really like. Why? Like, why did you give him multiple choice?
Majora's Mask
That's his
question.
favorite. Like his favorite Zelda game is
but
Majora's Mask.
the thing is, I was looking for Zelda's Lullaby because that's like the little known one. But I generally
I'm
did not
pretty
know
sure
the
it's on the wall
was one of
too.
them.
I'm pretty sure. But
Okay,
Sun
but-
Song is like one of the ones I know for sure is on there.
But it's Brandon's
know-
favorite game.
do you know the year that Nintendo was founded? Do you remember the year? I'm not going to give you the choices because if you know the choices, it'll be easy.
No, I know it's the late 80s. I don't know the exact year. So you got me there.
1889. So you
1889.
still
Okay.
have-
I'm gonna get really hard trivia next week, Brandon.
Get me.
and I'm sure you already know what they did before they did games.
Oh yeah,
Which is
for the cards.
the trading cards. Yeah.
That was the
I'm
first
really
one.
feeling this. This is too
And they did-
easy for you. Like, next, it's not gonna be anything Nintendo. It's gonna be PC and Xbox.
Okay, cool. That'll get me.
He's like, yes.
Kelly can back me up when I get them wrong.
He's like,
I guess. I don't know. I really wasn't into gaming that much.
Same. I don't know. I didn't know the
Then,
answer to
you
any
know.
of those questions. That's why I'm just like, whatever. If you get it
I
right.
only knew the
all-
PlayStation
we
2
all learned a
because I
lot
was in
today.
like a Game Informer or something.
Brent, I mean,
Like-
Grayson, did you say we all learned a lot today?
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
Class was in session.
I won't forget the year that Nintendo was founded now, or any.
Neither
other
would
stuff.
I, because I got a question wrong, so now I just have to know forever now.
I learned that people are
Yeah.
racist and Nintendo makes a lot of money, like billions of dollars, because
I'm
we
so
just
nostalgic.
give
We
them all
talk
their
about
money.
stuff that happened before any of us were born.
You're right, because I'm so young. And with
Right.
that, it's been a wonderful time talking to you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you all for continuing to listen to us, and we will see you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Goodbye.